Captain of the vessel, we wanna take it on a cruise all around the land. Till they give it hand. We wanna play it for you. You see, we want to be out. We want to be out. Jam to the music. Jam, yeah. Come on, pop the bag, get on up and jam on. Come on and ride on the funky y'all. Come along and ride on the fantastic voyage. Whatever direction of this cruise ship, and you are under our command, yeah. Ow! What you should do is take a lesson, yeah. What's up, you rocking with Coach K live tonight? Who is this calling from 919-412? Hello, hello, calling from the 919, hello. All right, you got your hand raised. I was just checking on you. Hold it down. What's up, everybody who's over at CoachKair.com, baby? Woo! More of this. You'll be able to catch all my shows right here at CoachKair.com. Tonight is the Cosmic Love Trip. Coach Kair and the Beauty Queen. She's not here, but she's going to be calling in live, so stay tuned, you know. Get on up and jam, y'all. You're going to learn something. But check out that new book by the Queen, Cutno, manleads.com. Tonight's show is going to be epic. I'm sure you're ready. I am. Sit back. We're having a fantastic voyage. Yeah. You catch me on Blog Talk Radio too. CoachKRadio.com. CoachKRadio.com. You catch it on Blog Talk in the chat, or you catch it right here, CoachKair.com, live and direct. Uh-oh, let's get it started. Let's get it started. It's already started.
Good evening, citizens of Earth.
Welcome, humans.
I merely tell you that the future of your planet is at stake.
I have to ask you to try to stay calm, and it's important for everyone not to panic.
I am authorized to assure you that so far there is no reasonable cause for alarm.
Listen, do you hear it? It's getting closer.
We have come to visit you in peace and with goodwill.
We work for a highly funded yet unofficial government agency. Our mission is to monitor extraterrestrial activity on Earth. We are the men in black.
You know what the difference is between you and me? I make this look good.
It's not loud enough.
It's awesome, baby!
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? This is Coach Kair, and you are now rocking with the best. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight at Coach K Radio. And guess what? Tonight, we are double casting. That means we are directly coming into your vision and right into your ear hole, baby. Yes, 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 yes. Woo! I used to do this all of the time with Blog TV, but then they switched over to something else. But they didn't even have a Google Hangout where you could do it like this. And now, pow, got my own thing set up. Again, it feels so good to be back in the saddle and to be boom, 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 double broadcasting. So if you want to catch what this video looks like and you're on Blog Talk, you can go to CoachKair.com right now and see it live. CoachKair.com, see it live. Boop, hit the button, and then we'll play, and you'll be right here with me. I think I'm going to do probably all of my future episodes just like this. And just, you know, so it will be able, so I can have my guest in, be able to take calls from the computer, which is right here in front of me. Still have fun, still get on to my Blog Talk listeners. So big shouts out to everybody who's watching me on Blog Talk. Big shout outs to everybody who's watching me on YouTube and is like, yo, been waiting for something like this so we could get to you, Coach. Well, guess what? It's here. It's here, all right? And I'm not by myself either. Also, the coupon code is HAPPY. I'm going to be saying that all night, right? The coupon code is HAPPY. I'm running this special for my Moon Magic program, moonmagic28.info or healingrelationships.info. Just go to the site. Once you check out, put in the coupon code HAPPY, and you'll get a $25 discount. And I'll explain why that is so important to you tonight as we move through the show. But you got to tune in to Zoom in. So make sure you go over to moonmagic28.info, bookmark it, or go over to healingrelationships with an S.info and bookmark that. And it's just getting ready to be a whole new paradigm shift for everybody listening tonight. So tonight, of course, this episode, it's also brought to you by Relaxation is the Key and the Beauty Queen, but that's KWEEN.com, thebeautyqueen.com, as well as relaxationisthekey.info. Get with the program. This is the Cosmic Love Trip. We're normally on every Monday at 11, but the Queens asked, could we move it up a little bit to 9? So I was like, hey, being an effective and strong leader and king that I am, I was like, okay, we'll do it like that. A couple of weeks ago, we had on the author of Man Leads, Cutno, and Mercury was in retrograde. I really want to set the whole platform for this. Mercury was in retrograde, and Queen had to do some things with her family that she couldn't avoid at the last minute, and then she came in kind of late on the show. She didn't really hear the entire show. She caught like the last 45 minutes of it, and a lot of people thought that there was some type of confrontation or conflict or competition, but it wasn't, and I know it wasn't, but it just sounded maybe like that. You have to go back and catch the other show, but right now you're here, and Queen said, look, I want to set the record straight on our show tonight, and I was like, you know what, Queen, I don't have any problem with that whatsoever. So, because the topic was just so crazy about, the name of the book is Man Leads, Woman Follows, Everyone Wins. So some people, women, they just hear woman follows, and they go off into what if land and da 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 and all this other kind of stuff. And so, you know, it was a great show. But we want to get the air clear. Hopefully, Ro will call in tonight. I already text her, and I will be texting her throughout the show. Be like, yo, you coming through? Her and I have a show on Wednesday nights at 11, manleadsradio.info. You can catch our last week's show there, and then after Tuesday, you can catch this Wednesday show there. But tonight, it's all about Coach Kair, the Beauty Queen, thebeautyqueen.com. This one's getting ready to be off the heezy, and I got a surprise for her that she's not even ready for. So, without further ado, y'all get y'all hands together, because you know why?
This is a dream come true.
Put your hands together for it's the Beauty Queen.
Hey.
It's awesome, baby.
You know it's awesome, baby. How you doing tonight?
Everybody.
What's up?
I'm wonderful.
You chilling? You all right?
I'm chilling. I'm good. I'm wonderful. I'm excited. I'm thankful that this show is happening. And just I'm ready to jump in.
Okay. Hold on. Before you jump in, though, I told you I had something. I had something special for you tonight. You know, I'm a little unpredictable at times. I got Uranus in the first house, so this is. I had to lean back on you because, like men, when you're leading, because we do agree with the king man coming in, and sometimes you got to surprise the queen. You know what I'm saying? You got to sneak up on her. You got to do some research, and you got to be like, oh, what is it that what does it look like? You know what I'm saying? Well, how do I surprise her and make her feel really honored? So you got to know your woman. You know what I'm saying? You got to be, this is about healthy relationships, okay? You got to know your partner. So what I did, I know my partner here on the show, that is. And I was like, yeah, I got a surprise for you. So I brought in one of my favorite poets of all time to do something to set this thing off. And I've been knowing this brother probably for about, I don't know, maybe 10 years. I don't know. It feels like I've been knowing him all my life. He's a brother from another mother. He is one of the most humblest spirits I've ever seen. But when he gets in front of the microphone and starts spitting that lava, you think 10 volcanoes erupted inside of a meteor shower. So without further ado, I want to bring my man, D Noble. D Noble, what's up, Lord? You in the building? Can you hear me?
I hear you fine.
Yeah.
Hi there.
Hey, how you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. I appreciate you asking. I'm happy to be here. Appreciate y'all reaching out and allowing me to come into your space and contribute.
Oh, well.
Yes.
Hey, so look, check it out. So, see, I got a surprise for D Noble too, because I told him everything he needed to know, like to get ready. So, you know, one of the reasons is he's a very proud father. If you follow him, I think it's Demetrius Noble on Instagram, you'll see how much he's a king man to his daughter, right? And oh man, I mean, like, not just regular king man, like he bossy king man, like shoe game. Her shoe game is ridiculous. Like, I don't know where he must work for, like the lottery agency or something, because every time I turn around, she's getting a new pair of kicks. And she's not 15. She's not 15 either. She's not like, she's young, but her shoe game is like impeccable. And then he matches her shoe game. So I just love it. And
love it.
So I was like, yo, I got to bring the God on, because he shows what real leadership looks like. And then today, my man Clement Mallory, another poet extraordinaire, accidentally tagged me in a post where D Noble was kissing his queen. And I was like, look at that. And the background was like all this water. He had all this Oshun and Yemi Ya energy in the back. And he was kissing his queen. And you couldn't tell her nothing. I mean, she was just like, oh, I could just see it. I could just see it. Now, D Noble, you know, you saw the picture. Come on now. She's just, it's all over her. So, but what I didn't tell Kween that one of the illest poets in the world was going to be on. I didn't tell D Noble that Kween is also one of the, you know, first poets and first spoken artists from the Punani poets. Right. See, not a lot of people. You hear that chuckle in her voice, right, D? You hear that chuckle in her voice? Right. So that's where you and her match up. Y'all humility is like really crazy. And I'd be like, man, go on, spit something. They'd be like, I ain't got nothing. You know, I don't know what you're talking about. You know. So tonight we just gonna go ahead and saturate the ground with some goodness. And he even came to tell me, he was like, man, I don't really have nothing on, you know, like the man being the king and the leader. I said, do something for your daughter. I said, that'll be fine enough. And he was like, all right, I got an old school throwback. So, D Noble, can you talk about, like, even before you do the piece, how important is it to you to be the king in your household and let your daughter see you being, you know what I'm saying, the king man, and then run into what's the background on this piece you're going to do for us tonight?
Oh, yeah, man. That's a good question. I think for me, it just starts with showing her what love is. You know, you can't lead if you don't love. You can't serve if you're not willing to sacrifice. And so I just try to make sure every day I tell her, you know, I love her, you know, multiple times. Like, it gets to the point now she says, gosh, how many times a day are you going to tell me that? But I say, I want you to know it. I want you to know it.
That's right.
You know, and I just try to teach her, you know, important things on, like, you know, right now you're able to live a fairly comfortable life because, you know, we're willing to work and grind. This stuff doesn't come easy, it doesn't come freely, but, you know, love is work made visible, you know, so you do things you don't necessarily want to do for the people you love and want to be with to make sure that they're straight and secure. So just try to teach her to be grateful, teach her to have, humility, and, you know, that let her know that certain comforts or certain securities, you know, they come at a price. And, you know, that price is all bound up and entangled with love.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I appreciate that. So, this, what you got for us tonight? Where is this coming from? I know it's coming from the heart. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, give me a little background on the title of this piece you're gonna do for the Queen, real quick.
Yeah, well, it's funny because you know, I was thinking about when you originally asked me, and I was like, I don't know if I have anything for that. And then when I started looking through stuff, I said I actually have a piece that fits really well. This piece, and it's actually entitled A Love Poem. But it's a poem written, you know, from a brother who's had an epiphany on how important it is for him to enter into a space of love and sacrifice in order to meet, you know, our queens who always seems like more readily entered into that space of love and sacrifice for the sake of community, for the sake of family, for the sake of community building, nation building, movement building, and in the times the brothers have been very reluctant to catch up and take the lead and join them in that arena. So this poem is about that struggle and moving towards that epiphany.
Bet. All right, well, the floor is yours. Take your time, get yourself together, and let, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and bless it.
All right, a love poem. It's been said that all is fair in love and war, but I know that ain't right. Because right now, love got me at war against myself. Right now, love got another young lady digging deep inside herself. She's trying to find herself, or at least the pieces that are left of her, because she gave most of herself away to me before I left her. And I love her for that. And I despised her for that because I wasn't able, or was it because I wasn't willing to give myself back. And now I'm at war, I'm under attack, my guilty conscience is killing me and it won't retreat back. I wish I could turn the great hands on God's clock back. I wish I could rewind time to the rhyme I spat before I met her. I'd make sure I passed it and crossed. Maybe then I could forget her. But I really don't want that either. Because I only remember her as beautiful and wonderful, a strong soul sister, more like God's angel, a faultless creature who made just one mistake. She took a romantic interest in me, and now her heart aches because I wasn't man enough. I couldn't step up to the plate and love her for our future's sake. Because I'm just a love-struck punk who's stuck in the past, addicted to my own misery, still shooting up hits of an old relationship, bitter memories. Instead of focusing on the present so I can see forward, I blinded myself to the future, making it impossible to move toward it. I'm backtracking, moonwalking, thinking awkward. Instead of building with present happiness and future bliss, I've opted to chill with past loneliness, knowing that it makes no sense. There's no method to my madness, no reason for this rhyme. I feel like the locks on my heart have been changed and the keys have been left behind. And the past relationship gone bad, and I ain't even got the nerve to go get them. But it's still some strong soldier sisters who got the nerve to get with them. They still got a little love left in them that they don't mind giving, and they are fighting uphill battles and all-out wars just to love us, just to be there for us. We call ourselves warriors, but we afraid to fight. We scared to love again, scared to hold just one sister at night. We scared to commit, scared to risk it all in a relationship that expect them to do it. We scared to be monogamous and hold it down with just one wife. Scared not to be pimps and players, scared to stay home at night. We scared to come home at night, scared to act like our mothers raised us right. We too scared to let them know that we'll be there, too scared to prove to them that we care. When a relationship ain't right, we scared to work with them. When we both ain't right, scared to go to church with them, scared to stay home with them and raise our kids, but we expect them to hold us down while we serve prison bids. We scared to tell the truth, scared to not tell lies, scared to admit when we wrong, we scared to apologize. Black men, we are scared to put forth our best, and as a result, black relationships are like a game of chess, where the queen assumes the most responsibility to save the king. My brothers, it's time to alter this scene. They don't need us to be players and PIMPs. They need us to be husbands and DADs. They need us marching in line with them, getting degrees, not just standing in line with them at frat parties. They need the truth, not another lame excuse. They need us at home raising our youth instead of being in the streets thinking we bulletproof. They need us thinking about our families and our plans with them, not the next hustle with our mans in them. They need us to get our souls right, get spiritually healed, instead of succumbing to base chakras after we die, keeping it real. They need us. And they need us to give them all of us, like they are so often giving all of themselves. Brothers, let's stop hiding behind past relationships. Stop hiding behind macho disguises and disguise of machismo. Put away the misogyny. Let us embrace our sisters. Let's meet them halfway so we can restore some fairness and equality back into black love. So black love doesn't have to become a black war. Too many sisters have already become casualties of war. Too many sisters are currently prisoners of war. Brothers, let's vow that they don't have to fight for our love anymore.
Woo!
Wow.
Jill.
Wow.
Hey. Queen, what's up? Talk to me, because I can't go first because I'm prejudiced. I'm gonna have to let you say. I'm biased, so I'm gonna let you the newbie, so I'm gonna let you say something on that right there.
Well, I'm a little emotional. That was really beautiful. It was exactly what I think a lot of us feel. A lot of us women. Synchronicity is the confirmation of spirit.
Word.
And, one of my sister friends and I were just having this conversation about how we feel like our men are afraid of our love. And you just spoke it so eloquently, and I thank you for that. Thank you so much. That was beautiful and right on time. Thank you, Khayr.
Jill, hey, that's how we do. You know what I'm saying? North Carolina up in the building, hard body. You know what I'm saying? No taking no shorts. I mean, that's not even a battle rap. That's the one about love. And that's, you know what I'm saying? The show is the cosmic love trip, because when you're dealing with Khayr and the Queen, we promise you we're going to take you on this trip, period. I mean, if you hang around, you ain't got no choice but to learn something. You know what I'm saying? So, D Noble Lord, man, hey, I love you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that was a new one for me right there. How can people like follow you on like Instagram, or how can they catch you on YouTube? They need to cop that album. How can they support, you know what I'm saying, D Noble and your family? What can they do to, you know what I'm saying, to get up with you? Somebody needs to definitely contact you tonight to let you do a wedding or a bar mitzvah or something like that. So, how can they get up with
you? You can find me easily on Facebook and both Instagram under Demetrius Noble. And you can find me on YouTube under D Noble. So I got a few clips on YouTube, but like I said, you can always find me on Facebook. And if you want to, contact me for and have, more substantial conversation, Facebook is probably the best place. It's more interactive than the other mediums. So I look forward to anybody who wants to reach out, and we can build further there.
That's right. Or or Coach will give you a shout out too. You can call Coach because he ain't giving out his number. Y'all need to be stalking him, but I can be a go-to person too. Holler at the Coach, you know what I'm saying, and then I'll go ahead and make sure D Noble get right to you. You know what I'm saying? Because it may be some other not as eloquent D Nobles on YouTube. So is that like D_Noble or is that like straight D Noble?
It's just D Noble, D_Noble, Noble.
All right. See, that's the period makes a difference because I know it's some other cats right hollering they D Noble too, but they're not spitting it like that. I
They're not that D Noble.
No, absolutely not, Queen. You've seen it already. Y'all just met. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was really just beautiful. So thankful.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just happy y'all invited me into the space and I could contribute accordingly.
Hey, well, Lord, we appreciate it. Look, you can stay on the line as long as you want, you know what I'm saying, because we just getting ready to proceed, and it may be something that you want to chime in on, being as you are what I call a real dad. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be talking about, you know what I'm saying, he's a real dad. He got a Justice Cipher born. He got a side hustle. He see his daughter every day, which I think that's mandatory. Isn't that mandatory in your relationship, D?
Oh yeah.
Right. And would you consider yourself the head of your household?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I want you to just listen for a few minutes, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna set the stage for, you know, what we have in this conversation at the night, and then if you want to just get back in, you know what I'm saying, so, you know, just pop back in. You can mute the mic on your phone, and then I'm gonna just leave it open, so if you want to jump back in, you can just unmute your mic. All right?
Okay, cool, brother.
All right, that'll work. Okay, so check it. All right, everybody, I kind of gave everybody the premise of the show tonight. You know, I thought maybe Ro would be calling in. I don't know, she may be tied up or something like that, but if you heard the first show she came on, we were talking about the healing of families through the premise of men leading, women following, and everyone winning. And a lot of the show was about things that women can do to improve upon the testosterone level raising of men, because when the testosterone level drops, men are looking for a boost. So some women say, oh, you cheated on me, when actually he was looking for his testosterone level to raise. And according to Ro, she's interviewed over 1,000 men from around the world that are in relationships with women who say, as I follow him, he instinctively, his testosterone level is raised and he instinctively becomes a better leader, and our family and lineage is more successful. And so then we had them people calling in saying, well, what if the brother don't do this and what if that, and things like that. But, you know, I really wanted Queen to be on at the beginning of the show. But like I said, Mercury was in retrograde, things were going on, so she had to take care of some of her family business. And then she came on. So, but I know in my heart that if she'd have came on from the beginning of the show, it would have probably been a totally different vibe. It wasn't a bad vibe, but, you know, just some people that came back and gave us some feedback. So, Queen, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you take it from here.
Okay. So, yeah, as you stated, unfortunately, I did not get to participate in the beginning of the conversation. I was not even really familiar with Ro's book. That was a hectic day. A lot of crazy stuff going on. And I came in on a conversation with a woman who was deeply wounded and had some things going on. And one of the things I heard Ro tell her as advice was to get a man, and this would solve all of her problems. And I admit that triggered me. So I wanted to know, like, well, what's the basis of your commentary? Like, why do you think that? So we ended up having, you know, this exchange with the listeners, some of them perceived as competitive. especially on my part, because Ro had been, she had been on air, stating her stance, establishing her rapport with the listeners. So, I looked like the antagonist, and I guess in a way I was. And I can accept that, and it's all good. So what I did is I went through, I still have not read her book, to be completely honest, but I did go to her YouTube page and I watched her videos to get more understanding of who she is and where she's coming from. And what I found is that there's a lot that I agree with, which I did state that night too on the show, that the way that she chooses to show up for her man, I mostly agree with, and I choose to show up, similarly. So I want to point out first the things that I agree with, from what I listen to, and from what I know of Miss Rowe. So she says, men do things solely for the purpose of appreciation. They live to please us and make us happy. Men want appreciation, and touch is equal to appreciation. I agree with that. Appreciation for men is equal to being positive, having a positive perspective, touching, and us being sincere. She says appreciate him by giving him space. I love that. Absolutely. One of the things that I can definitely empathize with, I can agree with, and I can incorporate more into my life. So yes, I love it. She says, let's see, what else was there? Oh, women try to relate to men from our perspective. We try to relate to men as if they're women. I agree. And that's where we fail. That's where we lose. Because we are expecting men to act like we act and to respond the way that we respond emotionally. And they aren't because they're men. So I agree with that. She also said, let's see, okay. So she talks about respect. Men view love as respect. We can't love on men like they are women. Women view love as appreciation. Totally agree. She says we view respect as something that needs to be earned. That giving a man respect puts us beneath him. Yes, I definitely agree. Just I'll just say what I've learned. I think I kind of have a double perspective or a multi-perspective of men, because I have my grandparents, two sets that were married, and for the most part had very healthy relationships. And then I have my uncles who were in marriages for, since I was a little girl, and they're still in marriages, and I got to see that dynamic. And my parents didn't stay married. My mother was single for the most part, and she had her view about men, which was more closely related to what Ro was talking about in terms of viewing respect as I'm beneath you. And she says we oftentimes say that men have to earn our respect. But she says if they see respect as love, that's like saying you have to earn my love, and that's evil. And I agree with her. That was a great point. She talks about feminine grace, voice and behavior, which I cracked up when I watched this part of her video, because she says women should sound like women, light, gentle voices. They should wait for the doors to be open, and these behaviors cause a man's masculine instinct to kick in. Okay, so this is a part where it's like, I see where you're going, I get it, but I don't know, not all the time. Okay. I believe in being gentle and feminine and sexy and loving and sweet and kind to my man. I believe in that. But not all women are going to show up that way. I believe in waiting for men to respond to my femininity, to open doors for me, to serve me, to protect me, and to stand in that place of protection and service. I believe in that. But not all women show up that way. So this is where I want to integrate my stance. You know, I want to now let the listeners know what my stance is to kind of color this story a little bit more. So I believe all women have the right to show up the way they want to show up. We're living in a time when the goddess is showing up in all forms: the virgin, mother, clone, whore, lover, witch, saint, destroyer, warrior, queen, peasant, divine, profane, ratchet, and wife. While I mostly agree with the ways Will encourages women to show up for men, lover, mother, saint, virgin, queen, divine, all the light archetypes, there is a true place in reality, in consciousness, where the dark archetypes must show up and live as well. Because women are showing up in these ways doesn't mean they aren't women, but rather they are where they are. Will said healthy, quote-unquote, women want to show up this way, and I still call bullshit on that, because who defines what healthy is? Is Mama Kali, the black goddess of war and destruction, dysfunctional and unhealthy, or does she need to exist to bring balance, to wipe out all that does not serve us, to make way for the new that does? Is the Black Madonna unhealthy because she takes no shit and liberates those who call on her from their oppressors? Is Oya unhealthy for bringing thunder and lightning to the skies and dwelling in the land of the dead? Is Inanna unhealthy for the position she holds in the underworld? What about Lilith for refusing to be subjugated and dominated by Adam? I'm speaking to archetypes and mythology because they represent the parts of human reality we do not like to look at because of our fear of the dark, our taboos, and fear of our imperfect selves, the selves we constructed in our minds due to programming. So we use mythology to tell the inconvenient and uncomfortable truth. What Ro is speaking to is beautiful. I think she is speaking some good old-fashioned truth, but it's old and does not represent the entire story, nor does it represent every woman or every couple. There's so much variety and diversity in this world, and what we are charged with doing in this age is allowing spirit to express itself the way that it chooses to. We are being challenged to love more deeply, have more acceptance for that which makes us uncomfortable. Ro's book is a response to a perspective that the family structure is being compromised. Her work seeks to fortify the beliefs about what a healthy family looks like from a very patriarchal standpoint, which is fine, but it's not the whole truth. Her work speaks to a paradigm and a tradition, period, and I love it. But we can't have broken women who need intense healing and help discovering how to love and accept themselves being told their problems will all dissipate once they get a man. And that was the conversation that had me triggered the last show. That is what set me off. I never, ever intended to be combative or come off as competitive with Ro. I support what she is doing because she is living her truth. You go, girl. I am for women. Women are the key to healing this planet because when we heal the world, because when we heal as women, the world heals. How? Well, when women give birth to those of us walking on the planet, we are the Godhead, first teachers to our children that later become adults. Our children don't know who their fathers are until we tell them. What does this mean? Essentially, we are the lawmakers. We set the standards, and we lead. We can complain about the behavior of men all day long, but we give birth to them and then teach them how to live in the world. We agreed to put all the power in the hands of men when there should be a balance of power. The source being us because we are the closest being to divine law. Divine law trumps man law or the law of the land. Divine law is the law of spirit or God. We all come with knowledge of divine law, connected to divine law, but the women are the ones who give life. Our babies look to us for everything when they come out. So when we talk about men leading, that's a cool boost for his ego. Okay, that's fine to let him feel like he's leading if that's what he needs. But when we're talking about weak men with a false sense of self. I understand the power of femininity and how a woman who is completely in her feminine can encourage a man to give her the entire world. I understand what Ro is saying in terms of the differences between men and women. I honor that science. But to stop at this idea that men lead, period, at the end is misleading to men and undermining to their true value and nature at best. I'm gonna stop there.
What are you stopping there for? Are you done?
I mean, I have some questions. I don't know if Ro's gonna, chime in or not, but I don't know. I mean, are you gonna engage?
Oh, I'm here. Like that's the thing about the show is it's a build. You know what I'm saying? So just like I feel that so many things are subjective that I don't say. It's rare that I say some things are just totally wrong. You know what I'm saying? As far as just out and out, especially when it gets down into philosophy. But then when you mix in, you coming with antiquity and then her coming with modern day, both of you make some excellent points. And I benefit, and probably D Noble and all the men who are listening to the show benefit too, because we know both sides of the coin. We know who is, we know both energies, but we also know where we are too. And I think it's especially now that there needs to be an assistance of managing feminine energy, and not just in my opinion, but it's just been proven. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so I'm engaging. I have, like I said, my thing is Kali Ma is not negative, but Kali Ma cannot exist 24 hours a day, just like Sekhmet. Sekhmet doesn't even come out 24 hours a day, and there's a time for those divine dark energies that take no shit when it's called for. And I don't think that the book at all, because I finished the book, and I don't think that the book at all calls for a subjugation of any of the dark mother principle. But in a relationship today that needs to be healed, then it's not about I'm just going to let the man think that he needs to lead. The woman is just sitting on power. She made the woman. I mean, she made the man. I have this conversation all the time. If man is leading, she made him to lead. If people know the original story, it goes right back to the penis is an elongated clitoris. The XX chromosome is much older than the XY combination. So she predates men by what I feel is millions of years. But she made him to be a warrior. She didn't make him to be passive, And so for me, the man leading is the evolution of the feminine energy, the evolution of the dark energy, because I don't think any energy can remain the same all the time, including the patriarchal situation and what we live in, for the last 40 or 50 years that a lot of women and a lot of men are angry about, because it's been disproportionate. Me personally, I do not believe in the word balance when it comes to a solution for the problem we're in now. I think we need harmony. Yes,
I agree with that.
I don't believe in that old 50-50 thing. Like, I've been hearing people say, well, sometimes I could be the man, and no, you can't sometimes be the man, because we're in an age where the defeminization and what's the word that starts with an E? Emasculation. The emasculation of men is at an all-time high. It's at an all-time high. So, and being a historian, I know that Kali Ma and all those other dark energies that you quoted precede the creation of man. But when Kali Ma come on the set, it's total chaos. When Sekhmet comes on the set, it's total chaos. In the evolving planet, this evolving galaxy, this evolving universe that we stay in now, that's where man came from. You know what I mean? Like, we're a weaker species as far as genetically, but muscular and for all the reasons that you all made us in the first place, leadership is what we were made to do, but we're not that bright. And that's one thing I like about the book is, ladies, when you try to lead, you confuse a man. That's it. I mean, that is if you want to lead in a combative way. If the man shows up and he's wanting to lead, and then you start to compete with him to be the leader, you confuse him because you're smarter than him and he doesn't understand what's going on. But if you are a single mother leading a household, I have no problem with that. But if you want your children to see what healthy relationships look like, it's supposed to be a yin and a yang energy there, point blank, period. And that's going to be harmony, and they have to see that, and because I know I'm a product of a dysfunctional household. I'm a latchkey kid. My mother and father split up real early, so I never saw my mother or father remarry. And if I would have saw a healthy relationship when I was younger, I'm sure that I would have experienced more healthy relationships than I have right now in my life. I strive as hard as I can to practice healthy relationships now, but I have definitely went through some relationships, the relationship experience, to get where I'm at right now. Like, I got some awards for doing it wrong. So that's why I love the book. I also love the antiquity too. Like, the dark side of her is the magic. That's that power. Like, I'm leading, so you can go back over there and do that. And, she doesn't necessarily express that. Well, I'm not going to say that either, because the book is so fire, man. Like, it's so fire that you just gotta get it. And especially the last, in chapter 7, where it talks about everyone wins. And I think every woman and man wants to have a healthy, strong lineage. You want to be in your end game. You would like to be 100 and some years old as a great grandmother, looking at healthy couples come up and say, hey, this is my great grandmother. Hey, this is my grandmother. Hey, this is my mother. And you want to see your wife coming up on the front porch with a healthy man, and you want to see your son come up on the porch with a healthy woman. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to see them coming up on the porch bickering and got bruises and, was in the paper for domestic violence and stuff like that. So that's where I'm at.
The thing is that I agree with a lot of what you said, in terms of healthy relationships. I have no problem being in a relationship with a masculine man. I desire a masculine man. And again, a lot of what Rose said, I resonate with. But all women don't show up that way, and it doesn't mean that they're men. In terms of being combative and not allowing, but see, there's that word again, allow. Not allowing men to open doors for you and you speak a certain way to him. I mean, the thing that came up for me was, well, what about men who naturally show up more feminine? I mean, because we all possess both, right? So what about the women who are just naturally, because that's the way they're wired, more masculine, and the men who are naturally more feminine? What about that? And, are they weirdos? Are they ostracized because they don't show up, in accordance to this paradigm? What does that in that?
Scientifically, nobody's wired as a homosexual. It's 40% genetics.
No, we're not talking about a homosexual.
No. I'm talking about a woman is not naturally wired to be masculine. I don't agree with that at all. 60%, the environment can be programmed. When a woman shows up and she's been programmed masculine, I see it all the time. But a woman who was just born, and I'm talking about even a woman astrologically who's an Aries with an Aries moon, or a Leo with an Aries moon, or vice versa, who has all the astrological traits of strong fire, yang energy, I feel that it's the environment that has done a terrible job of programming that energy in order to capitalize it in this country that we stay in. You know, like even so some of the things that D. Noble said in the poem, like where did the fear come from? Because like people aren't born afraid of snakes. They learn it. You learn, fear is a learned process. And you learn it from your environment that you come up in. So if you come up in the hood and that was your mother and she raised 4 boys and then you was the only girl, then yeah, that's going to be the environment. She shows up that way. But it's not permanent. Same for the man. For a man who shows up wired and he's kind of feminine, it's not permanent. Now he can choose to stay there, but I don't think the book is for those who desire to be in a wired masculine as a man and a wired feminine as a woman. Now this is planet Earth. I'm not getting ready to say she wrote a book for the code for the Earth that you got to do this. Like God gave everybody free will. So I love everybody. And if you like it, I love it. You know, I'm not even into the arguing stage, but I know what I prefer. And I have a sense of what the women that I attract in order for me to have a healthy relationship. I know what they prefer. And when I show up as a leader, they get in line. And even instinctively, no matter what, I think instinct beats the hardwire. Because the hardwires, if I can appeal, and I think that's what the book does. If a woman, let's get the example that you left out. The metrosexual man. I know a lot of feminine women who have a metrosexual man that likes them, but they want him to be just a tad bit more masculine. He's not gay at all. He's not feminine, but he's just not manly enough for them. And they want him to be a little more masculine. I think Rose's book is spot on for that, you know, to just, you know, give him some more opportunities. But I do feel, especially through the reality shows and television and programming, that a lot of women who are hardwired for the masculine thing through their environment are picking metrosexual, cute guys who they can just run over for the sake of capitalistic means. And that's on all of the reality shows where the women talk to the men like shit, and they also talk to other women like shit. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing I got a problem with it for. If you are masculine towards men, then you're gonna have tendencies to be masculine and dominant towards other women too. And I'm like, how does that work? You know, how does that work for my daughter to look and see a woman calling another woman all kind of, you know, B's and H's and all that other kind of stuff? So I think it's going to take time.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm wondering, in Rose's book, does she offer any suggestions on how women reel themselves back into their femininity? Because what I will acknowledge is that while I think it's perfectly fine for women to show up how they want to, you know, and that women will refine their behaviors based on what they want to attract, right? I'll say that. But that it's okay to show up how they want to. I think women act a certain ways in terms of like being aggressive and abrasive and what we're calling masculine, because of the idea or the feeling of not being protected by men or being taken advantage of or being traumatized by, you know, experiencing over and over and over again men not stepping up, not taking responsibility, not having accountability, not desiring to be protective and warrior-like or showing leadership. So, you know, a lot of women have taken on this idea like, fuck it, I gotta do it. I have to do it for myself. And don't know how to just fall back into the role of what we're calling femininity and allow the man to serve, protect, and honor her. So I'm wondering, does Rose offer any suggestions for this?
Absolutely. That's chapter 5 on Woman Follows. And she does it in the best way because a woman is always listening for benefits. And you all can say I'm chauvinistic or whatever.
No, it's true.
Well, woman
it's
is all.
True. I mean, we better be.
A woman is listening for the benefits. So what Roe has done is produce, I mean, massive, massive, massive amounts of benefits to this system that all women want. Like for me, I said women want, you know, I know what the basics, women want choices. Women want choices more than they want the truth. Give me choice, you know what I'm saying, then give me the truth. That's when all women want a choice because they don't ever want to feel confined. I say this all the time. Shouts out to my man Rakim Sekou from Juju Mama, who taught me this lesson when he was coaching me. Men are like cats, and men are like dogs, and women are like cats. Men, you can put them in a cage, slap them across the nose, and beat them with a rolled up newspaper, and when they come out of the cage, they'll get it. But a cat cannot be disciplined like that. The cat must be enticed. That's why they say the woman is the pussy, because her whole attitude is like the cat. Every bit of it, including the killer from the jungle. I ain't gonna get into that right now, but she's got to be enticed by the benefits. So she has several, like this is page 104, several benefits which traditionally submissive traits bring could have been preserved. Many westernized women see themselves as progressive modern women who finally have more respect than many Indian, Muslim, African, and Asian women and fear going backwards. However, let's examine something for a moment. Yes, when women from some cultures move to Western countries and are offered all of the same freedoms as other women, these women usually accept that freedom in a general sense, but will usually still strongly cater to their husband's masculinity. Contrary to popular belief, they do not choose this way out of fear, ignorance, or because they are doormats. See, that's a sentence that a lot of people don't read in the book.
No, they choose it because that's how they've been cultured.
No. They choose it because it wins. Like it says not because they are doormats. Some cultures, yes, say be a doormat, but not every culture in the world says be a doormat. Like you can't throw Islam under the bus because it says women, because in the Quran it says women should not look men in the eyes. Do you know how many different sects of Islam there are? Just like there are many different sects of Christianity. So I can't say a Muslim woman is being raised as a doormat because she's Islamic. I think there's nothing further.
I didn't use the word doormat. I said she behaves the way that she does because she's been cultured that way.
And the next sentence says, instead, these foreign-born women choose this submissive and nurturing way because they tend to know what has worked well for several generations back within their own families and cultures. They wholeheartedly do not want to become too westernized in this way. So, and then she started going into, different techniques, but she keeps emphasizing instincts, which I think is important because to me, the majority of the women in the West, black women, white women, whatever, they just go past instincts. What are a man's natural instincts? And when I was studying Tantra with Grandmaster Sunyata Saraswati, he says if you're going to survive here in any form of happy relationships, you must learn the you must understand the makeup of the opposite sex. And I think men and women are getting the understanding of the opposite sex through the barbershop and the beauty salons and the television far too much. And they're ignoring, like, it's a woman's natural instinct to be more nurturing than me. Like sometimes I'll get loud and be vulgar and start cursing. And then a woman will say, well, I feel that, oh, my femininity is being threatened. Well, that means you don't know men well. Like I'm not threatening your femininity because I'm cursing or because I'm getting loud or I'm not being as graceful. Like I'm not a gentleman all the time. I carry a 45 Team Glock. I carry a machete. I carry a sword and a shield, you know, and baseball bats. And I carry Bibles and Qurans and holy books and softness and gentleness, you know, all of that. All 42 aspects of my yacht. But we're all mixed up in there as one. And it's a learning process. And I think that this is the lesson that I have really learned, that I can't be demanding of a woman to immediately jump into follower mode, because as a man, I didn't immediately show up into leader mode. So I can't demand it. You see what I'm saying? But I'm looking for open-mindedness to the subject and not to bombard me with a whole bunch of what if he conversations.
I'm just, you know, I'm wondering about this instinct thing, and if instinct is based off of what has been done over and over in the culture. You know, the way that the context that instinct is being used now is like, this is just the innate way. This is intrinsic. It's automatic. I mean, it's just in you. But don't we learn, or don't we react based on what our family members have always done, right? Like, so how much instinct is really attributed to what has always been done rather than what is just the innate mechanics of the spirit, of the raw spirit?
I can't.
You know, because I still feel like, sorry?
I was just saying, I can't do in the West because of television and the media. She has a huge section in the book about the damage that media has done in the West. They don't have the presence of media in foreign countries and other cultures. So if you've been born after 1970, you don't know how it's always been done. You know what you saw.
That's a blanket statement, though.
No.
If all of us have it.
I said in the United States. In the United States, I can make that statement because of the history of television in the West.
No, but what I'm saying to say that foreign countries don't have the presence of media, okay, possibly, because really I can't speak for foreign countries. I've only been to a few. And the ones that I've been to, they damn had TV. They had TV shows. They were westernized, definitely. So what I'm saying is, while that may be true, it might not be. Because we're speaking from a place of what I think or somebody said, but not many of us have traveled the world to get, like, real-life experience and, like, you know, personal account. So it's hearsay. We don't really know. And the thing that is really sitting with me right now is, while all this conversation is beautiful, and again, I think that Rose's book is a beautiful expression of her truth, of many people's truth. We're living in a time where we are calling back very ancient information that is equivalent to raw spirit, and just spirit expressing as it wants to express, and we are deciding or being allowed to make something that's totally new or that's ancient future. You know, so we can call these old paradigms back because we see where maybe they worked, but what I'm saying is they obviously didn't, because all of us have trauma, regardless of if we grew up in a two-parent household, you know, who were loving and they stayed together for eternity. We are traumatized still. So to say that this is the way and it works is like, well, if that's so, then why are we where we are? And you want to speak to foreign countries, but yes, okay, so there are foreign countries out there that are in better standing in terms of humanity than America. We know that, right? Or we have heard this story many times, because again, I have not traveled that extensively, but we still traumatized, all of us, and we living in a time of trying to find our way out of trauma. Intensive healing going on, intensive discovery, spiritual discovery.
Exactamundo, but that's the premise of the book is she has the international travel, and I was going to ask you, you didn't grow up in an international, in other cultures around the world. When you went there, you were in your 20s, maybe, I assume, when they had TV, but it doesn't mean that they grew up with television like we did. You know what I'm saying? There's many countries in Africa, and there's many countries around the world who didn't see the Jeffersons, you know what I'm saying, and who didn't see Good Times or Archie Bunker, or wake up and go to bed with looking at Walter Cronkite, whatever his name was. So you can't make a blanket statement about I went to a country and they had TV like we got here when you got there, because you don't know how long has the TV been there and what's the effect on that person, because growing up with TV is different than I got TV now. Some people, I look at Africans looking at television here in Atlanta on the big screen, and I can tell that it's a new thing to them. And I can tell they just got not been in here long, and I talk to them, and they're like, yo, we didn't have no 42-inch televisions in Africa. We do have them, but he was like, yo, in my village, I didn't have them. So, that's kind of where I'm coming from on that side. I want to give the number out so people can call in and chime in who have read the book, see who's on the line, see if there are any other comments or questions. 347-205-9089. 347-205-9089. If you're watching me on YouTube right now, you can call in directly live. If you're listening to me on Blog Talk, please go to CoachKair.com. Check out the site. We're broadcasting directly in your face. You can see me. I'm chilling. So I had to test it out because Kween was like, Kween and Ro was like, when are we going to do some live video? I was like, let me figure it out. So I think I have figured it out. This will be recorded on YouTube. You'll be able to check it out, and we're going to have some fun with it. Also, be careful over there. Also, if you are on the Coach Kair site, the coupon code is HAPPY. So if you scroll down, you see that the Moon Magic program is open. That's right, and it's open until midnight tomorrow. Because I'm using this month's Moon Magic to say, I want as many women or men who want to heal in relationships, period, to come in and let me help you in a 28-day healing process called Moon Magic. It's going to be personally crafted for you, and I'm giving you $25 off if you just put in the word HAPPY as a coupon code when you check out. All right? Watch the video on moonmagic28.info. Then when you check out, put the code in there. The code is HAPPY, lowercase, one word. Get you $25. When is the last time somebody told you the word happy was worth $25? You see what I'm saying? Only right here. Tell your friends too. Moon Magic 28. Don't put the code out on Facebook though and tell everybody. Make them listen to the show or make them ask you or something like that. All right. Let me get back to the callers. 347-205-9089. Please press 1 and I will bring you on. I got a caller. I got a caller calling on right now from 404-600. Your microphone is wide open. Can I get your name and where you're calling from, please?
Hi, it's Ro.
It's awesome, baby!
Ro is in the building! Yay! Thank you.
Hey, how are you guys?
Oh, we are maxing and relaxing. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Kween, are you still on the line? I think, come on now. I know I heard her scream, so she may have dropped something or something like that.
I'm sorry, hello?
Yeah, are you on the line still?
I'm sorry, my headset was out. Hi, Ro, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. So I'm wondering, how much have you heard?
Maybe about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, since you are here on the line, I want to say to you, to your ear, I don't think you heard this part, that some of the listeners thought that I was being combative and confrontational and competitive. And I don't know if you experienced me that way as well, but that was not my intention. So if you did experience me that way, I apologize. I'm woman enough to say that. I am for women, and for all women to show up as they wish. And I've gotten a chance to go through some of your videos, and there's a lot that I agree with. We're very similar in the way that we choose to show up in our partnerships. So I wanted to say that. And I said that night. But there are some things that I still disagree with. I think that your work is wonderful, is beautiful. I support it because it's your truth. And I'm down with anybody speaking their truth. But, most importantly, like I said before, is that I cannot stress it enough. I am for women showing up how they want to show up in all ways. And I feel like there's this, some of the things that you are speaking about and saying that is, basically proclaiming it as the truth for all women, I don't agree with that. And I think that it's, the questions that I bring is healthy. It's just healthy challenge. Like, when you present a platform and you say this is what it is, then, you're going to be challenged on it. So, I'm glad
okay, well,
here.
let me say, first of all, I am not ever going to be willing to put myself in a situation where I'm challenged all the time. I'm not interested. I am not a masculine woman who is looking for arguments or even disagreements. I am here to teach people who genuinely want to learn. And if someone disagrees with me, that's fine. But it doesn't mean that I have to stick around and hear it. This is a radio show and people are used to opposition and arguing, but to me it is really not feminine or helpful in any relationship to be arguing.
Okay.
Period.
Well, sometimes I show up masculine because I'm both. And if you feel like you don't want to, confront disagreement or challenge, I don't understand why you called in.
Oh, no, I called in to clarify because, my role is to teach people who want to learn something new. My role is not to try to argue or to try to be correct or to try to correct someone. My goal and my role when it comes to this book is to teach people who want to be who are in the position of wanting to learn something new. And to me, that is the essence of being a feminine nurturer.
Awesome. I think it's great.
I want to go ahead.
Sorry?
I just wanted to add that if she wants to, like you said though, Queen, if you respect how every woman wants to show up, and she wants to show up and not be argumentative and not be confrontational, then I think she falls up under that same.
So be it.
Right.
Yeah,
so,
it's all good.
Right.
That's why I said it's all good. I'm not, I'm not here to be argumentative or confrontational either. So great, we're in the same place. Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
Yeah, and I teach to women a lot. A lot of women ask me, okay, how am I supposed to get what I want in a relationship when I never oppose or I never argue or I never complain? And there are several ways to do that, but it is extremely important for me to be a good example, especially to a lot of women who can't fathom the idea of always referring to things in a positive light, or women who cannot fathom the idea of always seeming to be agreeable or seeming to be on her man's team. If I have an issue with any man that I work with or any woman, but lately I've been working with a lot of men, I will not call him out or her out in a public way and you know,
she will say
since
something
it's
though.
my goal to be supportive and nurturing in every aspect, whether it's home or business or any type of other venture. You know, I don't see ever how it is a benefit to a woman to push in a manner where she's going to be pushed back. So I just, out of all of the research that I've done and all of the traveling that I've done, I have never once seen a woman getting the best possible results by being abrasive.
Did you say did you say rapist or racist?
Abrasive.
Oh.
Abrasive. I have never once seen a woman get the best possible results out of any situation by being abrasive. And every time I see a woman acting in masculine energy, it just saddens me a little bit, because so much more can be gained by taking the feminine route. And if this, you know, to me, this is an art form that is practiced like anything else, singing, karate. And the more that we do it, the more we realize that we have been wasting a lot of energy.
Well, you know, again, I think what you're saying is great. I think it's your truth, and that's how you show up, and so I applaud it. I don't know if I agree that all women are always completely immersed in their feminine, and if they're not, they're wasting energy and time. I don't see it that way. But I'm also a person who definitely exists in both, you know, in double consciousness. You know, as an artist and a healing artist, I acknowledge both the dark and the light, the sacred and the profane. You know, so I hear you, and I think it's valid, and good.
I think that thank you. I think that there is something that everyone listening can understand. If you and I somehow, just the spirit of you and I, were in any type of relationship, and one or both of us, one of us wanted to start an argument or just started an argument, it wouldn't be possible without the other person's cooperation. And so if you are in a relationship that you would like to savage and to grow, the best way to do that is for one person to stay in the masculine and one person to stay in the feminine. The reason this conversation isn't continuing on in that particular direction is because I won't go there. I will never go there. So it stops the possibility of anyone getting hurt. It stops the possibility of anyone feeling misunderstood. You know, and the list goes on and on.
Oh.
So,
Ro, let me ask
you know, as an example, I think that everyone can look at this and realize, you know, in a relationship, there's a lot of harmony associated with the fact that I won't go into an argument.
So, Ro, let me ask you this question, because there's some angry women in the Chicago projects right now. In Atlanta, there's some high society women, and right now they're steaming and fuming, and they're saying, well, if the man is abusive and he's coming at me the wrong way, how am I supposed to not engage when this man is coming at me in all of these abusive ways? And we have children together. And he's just coming at me with all this meanness, and he's not treating me right. What am I supposed to do, Ro? Am I just supposed to just sit here and let him beat on me?
No. We as women are not supposed to allow negativity to affect our lives in such ways, meaning that as a responsible feminine woman, the first thing you're going to do is not allow someone to snatch away your femininity all the time. Mm. But more importantly, choosing a healthy man is the first step before we even get to the other steps. So if a man is abusive in any way, this is not the type of man that we are even referring to. And contrary to popular belief, most men are not abusive. This is an extremely tiny minority, although the media again blows up how many men are ill-intentioned and how many men will hurt us. It's really untrue. And if you look at the prison populations across this entire country, almost everybody in prison is in there for a non-violent crime. Almost everyone. Which means that the media blows up the actual nature of the common, regular man. Most men are not abusive. And if women are finding themselves in a situation where they are constantly, attracting abusive men, it's pretty much the fact that they're attracting it because they believe that most men are abusive. But there is no reason for any woman to have to put up with that, and there are too many healthy men in the entire world to have to put up with any type of abuse. So if we can get this message across to women that that actually is not the norm, and that there are several other choices which are the norm, then we can get to the root of the problem. Because, if you're already in a relationship with a man who is healthy, we don't need to discuss how to talk back to him when he's abusive to you.
What is your definition of healthy? Because in my opinion, the way I see it, everybody's traumatized.
Everyone is not traumatized. I gravely disagree with this. Everyone is not traumatized. Now, everyone may have issues, but traumatized is a very strong word.
It is a very strong word for a very strong point, because I feel like the culture that we live in, the society we live in, people having to go to work, to work for the money, to sustain themselves, to sustain their lives. It's very violent. It's a violation of the soul and the spirit. That's not why I'm from here. So,
I think that as feminine women, as feminine, graceful women, we need to remember that it's not necessary and that it's ungraceful to be so dramatic. It is not. We are not traumatized because we work hard.
No, I didn't say hard work. I said the way that we are conditioned to take care of ourselves and sustain ourselves. The system that is in place for us.
That is still not close to the strength of this word traumatized.
I disagree with you.
Hold on for a second.
I disagree.
Hold on for a second. I'd like to add that Kween, you're borderline hypocritical to say somebody can't say all people, and then you come and say, I believe all of us are traumatized. Like you just said, nobody can speak on all women, but now you come and said, I believe that all of us are traumatized. You know what I'm saying? So
okay, well, I'm a hypocrite. Okay. I'm a hypocrite.
Yeah, I mean, just for the sake of, I don't want it to seem like you're doing a double standard thing. To say, I'm not calling you a hypocritical. I said it's just borderline.
Hey, I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. I'm not right all the time. It's all good. It is what it is.
Right, but I don't.
What I will say is there's someone who just texted me and said that she's pressed 1 about 3 times and wants to get in on the conversation.
Absolutely, I got callers on the deck. What's her area code? Is it 318 or 706?
Let's see. It is 925 actually.
I don't see it. There's no 925 on the line.
Okay.
So she needs to call. She needs to press 1. Whoever. I do have 2 callers. I'm about to bring them in because I want some interaction here and see what other people think besides just us. All right. So, caller from whoever that is from the 925. Tell them to press 1, and I'll bring them on. Caller from the 706-340. Welcome to the Cosmic Bliss Love Trip, baby. Can I get your name and where you're calling from, please?
Peace, everybody. My name is Tanya Collins.
I'm calling from Athens, Georgia.
Hi, Tanya. Thank you.
Hey, you welcome. Hi there. Hi. I'm kind of struggling with what y'all are talking about because I just got out of a relationship because I was being too feminine, and I felt that my mate was stepping on me because he wanted his way all the time, you know, and I felt that if and when you're in a relationship to be so far as in compromising situation, you know, compromise with some things that I want at least, you know, because I am a woman and I do have my needs and my wants also. But it got to the point where my man always wanted his way, and if it wasn't his way, it was the highway. So I chose the highway, you know, because I felt like I was being too agreeable and too feminine, and I just finally put my foot down. So my question is, if you're practicing your femininity all the time and your mate is still crushing you, you know, how do you deal with that? And do you, like, how do you fix that, if it's possible to fix?
Okay, I would like to answer this. There is no reason why you should be a pushover just because you're being feminine. None whatsoever. And
can we define feminine? What does feminine mean in this context?
Okay, well, this is one of the main problems, and it does take me several pages to define feminine. But one of the main problems is that we are in 2014, and women are asking me what feminine is. Okay? So I cannot necessarily explain what most women take a lifetime or at least a childhood to understand within a radio show.
Wait, I'm sorry. What did you say? I missed what you said.
I said that I cannot effectively explain what feminine is to a person who's asking me what is feminine when it takes other people from other cultures a whole childhood all the way up until they become an adult to learn what feminine is. So I do explain it in several pages within my book, but it would do a disservice for me to sit on the radio to try to explain what feminine is, you know, and it is pretty much, I can blanket it by saying it is an essence, and it is someone who stays in feminine energy. I can say that easily, and I know that that may not be the answer that most people are looking for. But feminine energy cannot be explained in a few minutes because, like I said before, it takes some people, it takes everyone else in every culture a whole lifetime from birth until adulthood to be clear about what femininity is. And I do explain it in my book, but it would do a disservice for me to try to explain that here.
I mean, just the fact that you were saying energy is, you know, and that's for me to say, how is it that any one person can stay in any one energy all the time?
Why is it that everything needs to be questioned from a negative point of view?
Why are you taking it that way?
This is bothersome to me.
It's how you're taking it. How are you taking it that way? Because I'm not looking at it from a negative perspective. I'm asking because I truly want to know. If your perspective is negative, that's how you're taking it. That's one thing. But that's
okay.
How you're coming.
Tone matters. Tone matters.
Okay.
And the tone of our voices communicates what more than the words that come out of our mouths.
Okay.
Okay? So I am not going to continue to answer that because tone has told me that it will not be heard.
Okay, but I want you, can you please finish, I don't know if you finished responding to the young lady about what your remedy was for her showing up. When she says, I'm too feminine, and then you said, you know, you don't have to take crap. You don't have to take getting walked over. But I don't think you finished what you were going to say to her. Can you please finish that, please? And then I'd like for Queen to reply to her, and then I have a reply as well, because we're here to help the callers.
Right. It is not necessary, in order to stay in your feminine energy, it is not necessary to be a doormat. This is not at all, you know, what is the essence of being feminine. Feminine energy is a nurturing energy. It doesn't mean that you're going to take someone's negativity or that you're going to take someone's abuse. And we have to be very clear that abuse is, taking abuse in any way is negative and taking away from our femininity. There is no reason to accept any man's negativity. Again, I will say this. You know, there's a whole chapter written about how to determine if your man is healthy. And this is based on research. And, you know, one of the main characteristics of a healthy man is that he is not abusive in any way. One of the other characteristics of a healthy man is that he is not resistant to growth. And another characteristic of a healthy man who's able to be in a relationship with you right now is that he has seen or experienced personal success from his point of view in some way. Now, I will give you all these three to ponder upon, because every man will tell you that personally they put themselves through a type of masculine initiation that women almost never can understand. But you can try, but there's no way that you can completely relate to this feeling that men have when it comes to proving to themselves what their abilities are. And a lot of women get involved with men who have one or three of these main traits not in order, and wonder why things are not going well. But if a man is negative and abusive in any way to you, this is one of the first signs that you should not be in a relationship with him. If he is belittling to you, if he wants to walk all over you, if he wants to disregard your feelings, that is abusive. And contrary to popular belief, most men don't want that. Most men are clear that they want to please a woman and make her happy. And I cannot say this enough, that at the beginning of every show, when we discuss, you know, the findings or the results of the book, it's very important to preface by explaining that most men by nature want women to be happy. They're not looking to just have themselves be fulfilled. The way that a man is happy is through his woman being happy. And if you have a man who is not fulfilled by you being happy, he's unhealthy.
Amen. Amen. That's the premise of my book. To me, that's what the statement means. If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. I'm the nobody. I want my woman to be happy. So thank you right there. Hold up for a second, Ro. Queen, would you like to speak to Tanya from Athens about her situation, because she said she was too feminine and he walked all over her?
Whew. I'm having a hard time, y'all. I'm just going to tell the truth. I'm having a hard time with this. This is triggering me all over the place. I don't know that I have too much to say to the young lady, other than it sounds like you were associating femininity with being weak. and they're not the same thing. So if he walked out of your life because you were, or you had to walk away from him, did he walk away from you or you walk away from him?
I walked away from him.
Okay. So yeah, if he was walking all over you and not respecting you, then you did the right thing, you know. But femininity, no, it doesn't mean weak. And for me, I feel like because it's being hammered so hard, femininity, I would like to get a definition, but we aren't able to get that.
I mean, it's
the question in the way that you're asking, wait a minute, let me finish. The question in the way that you're asking is in direct relation to what Ro is saying. But Ro won't give us a definition of what femininity is. So I'm going to leave that there.
Okay.
Okay.
For me, I want to say that when I say win with yin, and I'm telling women to win with yin, I totally agree with what Queen just said. Femininity does not mean submissiveness. Femininity does not mean to be a punching bag. Femininity does not mean being somebody's mama. Because a lot of times women say, I'm so feminine, but they cross the line and they want to mother the boy. They want to smother the man. You're supposed to be his partner, not his mother nor his daughter. You're supposed to be his helpmate, not his mother. And so when you say, well, I'm just mothering him, like Rose said in the show, women often talk to men the way they want to be talked to, and men often talk to women the way they want to be talked to, and then the wires are all crossed up. Okay? So femininity is, now going over to what Rose said, it's an energy, and it is the most powerful energy. To me, in your most feminine self, he never would have been able to walk over you. So being as I've read the book, I've seen the definition of what feminine is and what my definition of feminine is, which is also too long to explain on the radio. You weren't being feminine. I'm going to tell you. I don't know, Ro didn't say it or she didn't say it, but I don't feel that you were being feminine. You were being submissive, which draws people to walk over you. Now, should you have left? Absolutely. If you were in a state that you were uncomfortable with the energy and you may have felt threatened, then you should have hightailed it up out of there. But you can't stay and call submissiveness femininity. Like, for example, some people equate sex to love. Because I'm having sex with you, I love you. Men don't equate sex to love. We don't. We equate respect to love. And women don't always equate respect to love. And some of them really don't equate sex to love either. So these words that we try to blend together and say, I was feminine. If Rose done the research, she wrote the book. It's a whole chapter on what femininity is. But I do agree that we do have a major problem in 2014 that we as a culture don't know that every woman doesn't know what is the definition of, or at least have a definition of what femininity is as it relates to power. To me, when I hear the word femininity, that means power. I never say win with submissiveness. I say win with yin. Water is yin. If I take a fire hose and turn the fire hose on, don't you see 3 or 4 men trying to hold that hose? That's still a feminine energy. That's still a feminine energy. If you put your tongue on the negative end of a battery, that's feminine energy. It will rock your world. Okay? So don't equate it with being submissive or being somebody's punch dummy, okay?
Right.
Yay! I would love for you to come in too to the Moon Magic program and get happy and learn the system that I have that I'm offering women too. So I really invite you to check that out. If you have any questions, please go on my website, CoachKair.com. Leave a note for Coach and just fill out the form on Moon Magic 28, and I can talk to you because I do have a remedy that I think if you were to practice it for 28 days, you'd really get some results. And the next man that you got with, he would be very healthy and you would be very happy. Does that sound like something that interests you?
Yes.
Yay! All right. Thank you, Tanya.
Thank you. Y'all have a good time.
All right. You too.
Bye.
Peace. Next caller is from 678-744. Your microphone is wide open. Can I get your name and where you're calling from, please?
Hello, calling from Atlanta. My name is Janelle.
Hi, Janelle.
Hi, Janelle.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so I have a couple things to say. I do, I'm really fascinated by these kinds of conversations, so I'm appreciative of everybody, that, put this together, both ladies and Coach K. I appreciate it because it's an opportunity to learn. That being said, I first want to just say that I did come and join the call to learn. I am a woman who does consider herself feminine, but like Queen says, I think that everybody is equipped with both energies, and sometimes I do operate in both, maybe more so than I'd like to. I do want to stay in feminine energy more often, but I do think that we're equipped with both energies for a reason. I also want to say that because I came here to learn and to engage in a conversation, I am a little bit disappointed by the tone of the conversation at times, because I feel like I have not read the book. I was actually getting on Amazon to try to buy it. I kind of feel like, if you've done research and you have knowledge to share, that's wonderful. But anytime you're in a place where you feel like you can't engage in a conversation and you interpret it as combative, I think that everybody loses in that. I think that it's an opportunity of loss for us to get a better understanding of your perspective and just femininity in general. So I just wish that we could kind of have a conversation without questions being asked and being dismissed as being combative or negative or anything like that. I have genuine questions myself.
Ooh, I agree, girl.
Okay, but I would like to respond to that. I have to make a personal decision, and every woman does, especially when you have information about, what does affect your femininity. And I don't think it is helpful to anyone who is looking at my example to watch me become combative. So I have to make a decision. I have to decide if I am going to protect my femininity and that I have worked so hard to polish, or if I'm going to give it away in order to make a point that is against everything that I wrote about. So we're going to have to look at this in a different way than usual.
Well, you sound crazy. You sound crazy. What you're basically saying is, I'm going to come on this show.
All right, I'm going to go now.
I'm going to
go now.
Bye. Have a good night. Thank you, Janelle, for coming on the show and bringing that to the perspective, because it needed to be brought up. She's crazy.
Yeah.
She wants things to be her way. She's done all this research. Doesn't want to ask it. She doesn't want to answer any questions. And every question that I'm asking is taken as combative.
No, but wait a minute. But wait a minute. I'm going to speak as a third party and not on any sides and have to agree when she said tone is everything. If you can't...
I agree too.
Wait a minute.
And that's okay too.
Yes, it is, but you can't make...
And I'm still feminine.
Right, but you can't make anyone do what you want them to do. She can't make...
Exactly. She can't either. And she came on here trying to determine how the conversation was going to go based on what she feels. Fuck that shit. Get the fuck out of here.
No, she came on and stood in her femininity. Like, if you want to stand in your wild woman...
And I'm standing in mine, baby.
No, you standing in your wild woman. You're
You're
standing in your wild woman right now.
And it's feminine, and it's very feminine.
Right, but you can't say her standing in her softness is not femininity because you don't agree with
it. But it wasn't soft. I didn't always experience her as soft throughout this conversation, so let me just say that.
No, but...
And I think that if somebody has a question, it's not necessarily combative. I think it's really unfortunate. I was extremely disappointed. If somebody has a question, it's not combative. And if you believe in your research and your point of view, you should be comfortable discussing them and having people disagree with you. And if you have to avoid a conversation to protect your femininity, then it sounds like it's kind of hanging on by a thread. Because if you're comfortable in your femininity and you can stay in that, then you should be able to stay with it in an intellectual conversation. I didn't experience any combativeness initially. I can hear Queen is upset now.
Yeah, but you're also not like a random caller who doesn't know Queen nor Ro. You know Queen personally.
I don't know Ro.
I know, but
hold on. I don't know Ro, but I do know Queen.
Right.
And I called in on a couple of her calls, and this is not about my personal relationship with Queen at all. I called.
Hold on. I'm not saying. Let me finish. I'm not saying that you called in to take sides. I'm calling in because to say from me recognizing it, you are on the same standpoint. Like you feel like Queen feels, but you are somebody else on the line who may not have called in may feel like Ro feels. It doesn't negate that they.
And it's all valid.
Listen, just let me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Listen. Hold on. This is not a party line. We don't talk over one another here. That's why I muted the mics, okay? And I'm still masculine. I'm not feminine. But this is not a party line. So we don't talk over one another, okay? So if I'm asking to be respected and I say, hold on for a second, because I was cut off, I got an issue with that. And that's how I respond, by taking control. I'm not flexing or whatever, but that's what I'm doing. This is not a party line where we talk over one another. This is a show to help people who are listening. This isn't a show for us to descend to different levels or even to ascend. It's to help one another and to speak intelligently, but we are not going to talk over one another. I'm not going to talk over you. You're not going to talk over me. I don't want, and that's not how this show has ever been run. Everybody's respectful to everybody, period, whether you are feminine and combative or whether you wild woman and feminine and combative. Nobody disrespects anybody, and I am the judge of that here because I've been here the longest, and I know what my audience and what the feedback is, and I'm going to protect the integrity of this network, okay? So now I'm going to open back the mics back up so we can continue this in an intelligent form. All right. All righty.
The first thing I'm going to say is you said that we shouldn't be talking over each other, but you're talking over her. Janelle.
No, I'm not, because I muted the mic.
Kyer.
No.
You're talking over me right now.
I'm right, but I'm not talking over you. I'm not talking over you. As soon as I came on, you were already talking before I unmuted your mic. I don't even know if you knew that your mic was muted.
I did. I heard muted.
Okay.
Okay. I don't appreciate that style, that whole cutting me off thing. That doesn't feel good to my spirit. That's your thing. This is your show. You've asserted that. You're the man. That's great. Beating your chest. That's what it feels like, and that's cool. I respect that, but it doesn't feel good, and I'm going to say that. What I'm also going to say is it doesn't seem like you are too open to an idea that is opposite of where Ro is coming from, because you believe in men leading, which is fine.
I don't agree with that.
But to take a stance that, you know, this person calls in because they know me and they're just saying what they're saying because they know me is not accurate, and there was nothing feminine. Or, no, I'm not going to even say that. Ro was very passive-aggressive. And if that's femininity, okay, cool. But let's acknowledge that.
That's subjective. Once again, I'm not taking anybody's side. I don't take any of this personal. I don't take Ro's side. I'm not taking your side. We're still running a show here. And that's part of the criteria of the show is respect. It doesn't have anything to do if I had some Klansmen on with Louis Farrakhan. I'm not taking any sides. My objective, which I always do, is make sure that people get to express and learn from the show. I don't have to pick a side. I have my own side. I don't agree with everything Rose says. I don't agree with everything you say. But I don't shut either one of you down or say, get the fuck out of here because it's a disagreement and it's my show. To me, that's quite disrespectful and borderline childish. And it can be wild woman, and it can be, that's who you are. That's fine. But I have my own view of it, just like you have your own view of where she's at. Is she passive aggressive? Sure. Okay. But it doesn't mean that she doesn't have valid information. Are you a wild woman? Yes, but it doesn't mean that you don't have valid information. Let's get past the personal, keep it professional, and keep it intelligent so we can all grow from the situation. What's the essence of the show? To have a cosmic love trip, not to go back and forth and see, can I prove that you're wrong, which is the attitude that I'm feeling that you're coming off with, is I can prove that you're wrong because you did some research, but you don't want to listen to me. Well, you haven't done the research. You haven't even read the book. Like, to really be going in on her like that, you made a lot of people have read the book and are saying she got that in the book. Why would you write a book? I mean, if you wrote a book and I said, explain something to me, but it took 20 pages in the book, and then you said, go get the book, I put it in the book, I wouldn't feel disrespected. You put 20 pages in the book. 20 pages would probably take a long time for somebody to write. That's respecting another person's energy. That's what I did when it seemed like I'm siding with her. I'm not siding with her, but I know she's an author. She wrote the book, and then I know that you have admittedly that you haven't read the book.
And you knew that, so if you felt that way, we shouldn't even have to sell. What I did do though was do my best to research her stance. So if that's not good enough, you know, can't please everybody. If I'm still coming off like I'm going out of my way to be combative and to disprove her, then everybody, either I'm doing a bad job of expressing my perspective and my stance, or everybody is hearing what they want to hear. Either way, it's all relative, it's all subjective, and it's all good. So we have about 7 minutes left in the show, and what I'm going to say is, if you resonated with anything that I said tonight, great. You can find me at thebeautyqueen.com. I'm Born to Love on Facebook. I am an erotic healing artist, a yoni massage, and coaching for women. And I'm also on Twitter at Beauty Queen. I appreciate the time and the effort. I appreciate you, Khayr. I appreciate everyone listening and chiming in. And I am so good here.
Thank you very much. Janelle, you're still on the line too. Thank you for calling in. Do you have, we appreciate you for calling in as well. Thank you. And I'm going to move on to the next caller because I got 3 more callers. Caller from 318-350. Your microphone is wide open. Can I get your name and where you're calling from, please?
Yeah, Coach. Peace, King. Peace, Queen. This is Corey calling from Shreveport, Louisiana.
What's going on,
Corey?
Corey?
Peace to you.
I'm good. I'm good. One of the things that I truthfully wanted to say is that I appreciate everyone's time for calling in and actually being on the show. I'm parked right now. I tried to FedEx, but let me just say that a lot of people don't realize that it takes a lot of work in relationships. And the thing that I realize is for myself personally, I have a son and I have a daughter, and they both have different needs from me. And some of the things that I can give my son, I can't give to my daughter. Only her mother is going to be able to give that. And that's because of the yin and the yang, and the femininity and the masculine. And I just think that as a person who has done research and work coming from Ray's perspective, I feel as though she's a scientist and she has done the research and has come from different viewpoints and variables, which is something that is discussed in the book because it's not just a one race thing or one perspective. I feel as though she did stand her ground because she has to uphold her research. And that's something that I feel like she couldn't contradict by saying anything. I don't feel like she discredited anyone for anything that she was saying. I feel like right now the atmosphere isn't conducive to be trying to answer the definition of what femininity is because it's time consuming. Because the show is about femininity.
Give me a definition.
Well, my thing is we have to do our own research as well. We can't just always come in expecting to receive without. If we knew that the show was going to be on tonight, possibly we have to do some work ourselves.
I did my work, sir. I did my work.
And I truthfully agree with you. And I love your spirit. I love everything that you have to offer. But in a sense, we come here. We're listening to learn. We're not listening to pick sides. Because I feel as though what you have to offer, what you bring to the table is phenomenal. And I don't feel anything different about what Coach has to bring or what Rose is bringing to the table. Everyone is coming here to be able to say, I'm leaving with something. I feel like the book is definitely a tool, and it's up to each individual to utilize that tool and utilize what you're saying and utilize what you're doing. But to what Coach was saying, to be able to keep the show hot and to be able to keep the listeners saying that this is not something that we hear every day and we can't get along and be able to express ourselves as an adult where we don't come into the place where we have to be offending someone and one of the person that was hosting the show leaves the show. We should be able to express ourselves in such a way that no one is taking anything to heart because I feel as though as a woman, I can respect you and your opinion just as well as her and her opinion. And I just really wanted to say that. And I honestly, my thing is about relationships. A lot of people don't spend time doing the work and researching a person out. And basically, when she was saying about a healthy person, I feel as though two people have to be healthy. The male and the female. A lot of people just go straight into relationships without even dating. They just go into relationships and say, oh, I'm alone, and this is someone that I can possibly be with. And there's no order coming into a relationship just because of the fact that we can go to so many levels now. And that's one of the things that I was talking about passing on to my son.
90 seconds.
Because it's for me to teach my son how to be able to have his mate line up with some of the requirements that he's going to have for her. And not just be looking to fall into something because it's based on emotions or it's based on him truthfully not being able to say that he is not going to stick to his standards because he just wants to be with someone. But I can't really truthfully teach my daughter that from the perspective of a female, but I can teach her how a man is supposed to be. 60 seconds. So every daughter one day hopefully will be a wife, and every son one day will be a husband. But my thing is, we have to try to prepare them to step into that and using the tools that we have. Some of the tools that we have is coming from a place of I need to be able to give my son a good handout. And I think that this is some of the reasons why we are in the state that we're in today. I'm 35 years old and I can't name 5 friends that are happily married, male or female. And that's sad.
Whoa.
Okay, so I appreciate everything that you said. I appreciate your heart. I feel it. You know, I do want to.
10 seconds.
You said hopefully every woman will be a wife and every man will be a husband. And you know, maybe that's where I'm the bad person on this show. And I'm gonna wear those shoes. I'm not gonna back down because the truth is, every woman doesn't want to be a wife. Every man don't want to be a husband. That's not what everybody wants. So I hear the truth in your words and I respect them and they're valid. And I'm going to say this again. This is not about taking sides. You're absolutely right. This is not about sides. And that's not what I'm requesting. I've never requested that. So let me clarify that if that's what you all hear. What I am saying is that everybody's perspective and standpoint is valid. Everyone. And
well, I mean,
when we talk about health, it's relative. It's all relative and subjective. We can't take any of this as it is the absolute truth. It is not. And so it seems like because that is my perspective and that's where I'm coming from, I'm the bad person, I'm going to wear those shoes. I'm going to wear them happily, and I'm going to put red glitter on them, and I'm going to tap dance.
I don't think, hold on, Corey.
Go ahead, Coach.
For one, I don't know who's trying to make you feel like you the bad person. You putting that on yourself. I'm not making you the bad guy. And for somebody, you know, just...
I'm reading some of the comments.
Who cares?
I'm not taking it personal.
You got to be taking it personal. You the coach. You can't take any of that personal. You know what I'm saying? Or even give life to it to say, if I'm being called a bad guy, I'm gonna put the shoes on. No, listen.
It's okay.
But listen, I'm giving you feedback for what you're saying. You're saying everything is relative. Everybody has a valid point, but then you can say, "Get the fuck out of here." Come on now, that's not.
Yes, and they all exist at the same time. That's the point.
You don't tell.
That's my point.
To tell somebody you have a valid point and to say, get the fuck out of here is not, you got a valid point. That's not what that means. In no form, fashion, in the streets, in the dictionary, none of that. That does not mean that you got a valid point. When you say, get the fuck out of here. If you were to say something,
again,
and I'm still not making you the bad guy, but we're being transparent. This is about the transparency.
I disagree with you, though, Khair. And that's the thing. Like, when confrontation comes up, people are uncomfortable with it. But sometimes it's the confrontation that has to happen so the understanding can come about. I'm not afraid of it. It's all good.
I'm not afraid.
But I will say again that people can find me on Facebook at Born to Love. I'm on Twitter, Beauty Queen with the K, Kween. I'm at thebeautyqueen.com. Yoni massage, coaching for women. Erotic healing artist. That's what I do. It's been lovely. It's 11:03, and I have to go.
All right.
Peace, Queen.
Peace.
Coach.
Peace.
Yes, Corey. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I just want to say, calling in from a male perspective and everything that is being said, like even leading and being a person that is going to actually honor my woman. I don't feel like I'm not capable of being abusive, but it comes from a point of being fair and just treating her the way that I want to be treated myself, you know. And I don't think that it's me being feminist in any kind of way. I think that it's actually me truthfully trying to be the leader in the home, because I have been listening to the last couple of weeks, and one of the things that I have learned is allow her to be feminine. Don't try to press her with anything that I feel like is mandatory for me to feel happy, as far as like taking the trash out, or, you know, I'm going to let her wash the dishes, of course, but I more than learn. You know what I mean? Like, she's never done that before, but I'm not going to be expecting her to do anything in my capacity that I would consider to be masculine. And I'm not going to try to do anything that's going to be taken away from her to be able to express her femininity.
Hey, bro, I'm totally, you know, it's so many layers to this. That's why Coach ain't tripping. You know me, Corey. Coach is not tripping because it's so many layers of different angles that you can look at it. And I'm a visionary, so I see everyone's perspective and I support everyone's position where they're at. I'm with the dark mother. You know what I'm saying? I'm a child of the dark side. Believe it. And I feel I'm darker than most you've ever seen in your life. But I don't just show up being dark all the time and, you know what I'm saying, kicking my, Look, how many guns do I have on my Facebook page? You ever see me posing with some artillery? You ever see me posing with some machetes or things like that? You ever see me posting something like super violent on Facebook?
Not at all.
But guess what?
Never.
But guess what? That's still a part of me. I'm still Team Glock, and
Right.
I still put them and I still put that work in. You understand what I'm saying? That's me. But I ain't got to put it up all the time. And for me, it is, when is it appropriate? When is things appropriate? And of course, not everybody is the same all the time. But as an adult and an evolving spiritual being, we must have a sense of when things are appropriate to do certain things. You see what I'm saying? Like when I get in the bedroom, it's none of your business who's leading. It's none of your business. But as far as posturing, there's certain things that children can't understand at certain ages. You didn't understand driving a truck and backing a truck, or doing, lifting with your legs when you picking up a box when you were 5 or 6 years old. You just bent over and picked it up incorrectly. You see what I'm saying? And so as we grow, that's the purpose of being here, is growth. But I definitely respect and I appreciate you coming in and making the point of why my listeners call into the show and call in and listen to the show, is because they want to learn something. They want to pick up some pieces and keep it popping and move forward. You know what I'm saying? So,
because it saves some steps, Coach. I mean, the wisdom that can be applied from the show can save people some steps of going through the heartbreak and the misfortunes of choosing the wrong mate.
And I didn't mean to cut your wisdom. That's why I don't mind having a difference of opinions on the show. Some people like Kween style. I like Kween style.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I like Rose style. You know what? Since I was in the 1st grade, I have had friends that don't like one another. You know what I'm saying? I got some friends right now. Right. I'm 44 years old. I can't invite one of them to the other one party. But I can leave and go to both parties in the same night. You feel what I'm saying? And they should have had the party. Right. And they should have had the party together.
The party together.
But if they don't, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm going to enjoy both of them. So I enjoy Kween's perspective. I utilize it to the fullest. And I enjoy Rose's perspective, and I utilize it to the fullest. But I utilize it in my manner. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to keep saying this. Nobody's the bad guy. If anybody's going to be the bad guy, it's going to be Coach. I ain't going to let nobody take the bad guy role from me. You see what I'm saying? So ain't nothing but good guys. I'm the bad guy hiding out. But
I appreciate it, though. And I think that this isn't that type of forum. I think that there has been a lot of hard work involved. And you have to take a position to stand with your work, as you called it, her femininity. I believe that she was standing with her work, because there's so much contrast that was involved in her coming to the conclusions that she came to. It's so many different layers, like you say, that are in the book. It's not going to be something that's going to be a one read. I believe that you're going to have to read that book several times over a lifespan. Even for a male, I went out and bought the book. I mean, it's a great tool. There's nothing that I can say that not going to work, but you have, and that's the biggest part of it, though. Even though we have this one, we can call, a lot of people can call in and listen, but are we going to roll our sleeves up and get down and get to the nitty gritty when it comes to applying this? Because we know a lot of things. It's not really just too helpful to know and actually not to be applying.
Corey, I got to get to some more callers, Lord. I'm going to get you. Look, call in Wednesday now. I got a show Wednesday night, too, where, where we're doing the man lead. So it's going to be some more of that energy. We're going to be talking about lineage. I want to see all the brothers in, and we're going to be talking about lineage on Wednesday night with Ro on her show. And as you can see, look, they're both on my network. I got one of them got their show on Monday. One of them got their show on Wednesday. Obviously, they don't want to be on each other's show, so guess what? I won't set that up no more. That's a good leader, because I don't want no problems. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I want everybody to be happy. That's why it's the coupon code. Once again, I'm personally plugging the Moon Magic program. If anybody, man or female, wants to improve their relationships and be happy from where they're at, you need to be concentrating on it for 28 days, whether it's super feminine or whether it's super wild woman or whether it's metrosexual or super masculine or whatever. You need to be concentrating on it for 28 days. Please check out moonmagic28.info or healingrelationships.info and holler at your boy, Coach Kaya. Let's get this thing popping. You got to be in by Tuesday night. All right. Hey, don't hang up because I got more callers. I want you to hear what's going on. Peace.
I'm on here. Peace.
Woo!
It's awesome, baby!
Caller from the 803. Caller from the...
Be concentrating on it for 28 days. Whether it's
Hey, caller from the 803, turn your speakers down a little bit. Turn your speakers down. I'm getting ready to open your microphone. You sitting right up on top of the speakers. I love that you're hearing this, though. Caller from the 803-662, your mic is wide open. Can I get your name and where you're calling from, please?
Hi, this is Keisha. I'm calling from South Carolina.
Hi, Keisha from South Carolina. Can you turn your speakers down a little more, please?
Turn your speakers down.
The speakers on the computer. The speakers on the computer, because we're getting feedback.
Is that better?
That's great. Thank you so much. What's up?
Well, my friend and I are sitting here and listening to the show. For myself, I'm really enjoying it. I'm kind of leaning towards Rose's side. I can understand her point of not wanting to take the valuable time out and explain what femininity actually means. But as a woman, we should want to learn what it means for ourselves instead of having someone to teach it to us. But I just hate that it ended the way that it did. I'm looking forward to hearing her again. But as my friend stated, it's like hearing a modern woman and a traditional woman get into a deep debate. Neither is incorrect,
right?
But we can learn from each other.
Yes, right.
I just hate Queen felt that she was being challenged or felt that she was the bad guy. We can learn from her as well. Being able to understand where someone else is coming from makes you an even better person. So big up to Queen and to Ro. I'm going to purchase the book for myself and my friend, and we're just going to see where it goes.
Okay, so check out. I got to make this announcement too first. The book right now, something is messed up on Amazon, so the book does not cost $39. Okay, so in the meantime, go to manleads.com to buy the book. Don't buy the book from Amazon at $39. Ro is not trying to price gouge. It's not that type of party. Something is wrong with the pricing. I just went and got the Kindle. Like, I bought a book, and then I went and got it on Kindle because I left it in New Orleans. And the sister was like, oh, this for me. And I was like, no, that's my book. Send me my book. She like, your phone's breaking up. Your phone's breaking up. I was like, oh, we're going to play it like that, huh? So don't get the phone. Get the phone. Get the book from manleads.com. And then, if you want to order it now and then have it shipped out tomorrow, because she ships every day, you can get it for whatever the regular price is. I don't know. I'm going to get another copy, but I stay in Atlanta with Rose, so I'm going to get mine from her. So, yeah, and you're so right. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't deal with the word hate unless it get to ignorance. So, because I'm a Taoist, so I ain't going to say I hate that it ended that way. Hey, man, things happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody died, you know what I'm saying? And nobody is,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, and I'm going to carry a lightness air of it because the premise of the show was Queen wanted to express herself. This is her show. And as the woman of the house, if she want to slam the door and walk out and go to another, what do you call that? If you want to go to another wing in the mansion, go ahead. You see what I'm saying? And that's what the real leader needs to know, too, for men. Y'all have to watch Coach Kyer's swagger, how I didn't do no taking of sides and saying, don't talk to her like this and you don't talk. I just told him what my observation was. I'm not into the judgment thing. You see what I'm saying? Because time will tell. And I'm still happy. And I trust the process. And like Corey said, either way, whether you want to go wild woman side or you want to go really feminine side, it's going to take a lot of work. Now, a point that you said that I don't necessarily agree with is I got to learn on my own. No. Like ever since ancient times, we've always had someone show us the way. There wouldn't be no great martial artist on planet Earth if they wouldn't have had a teacher. Bruce Lee wouldn't have been Bruce Lee if he wouldn't have studied with his teacher. He didn't learn that by himself. A woman from the woods can't come into the city and know how to eat at the table. And she can say, but a woman who coming from the city can't go out in the woods and be like, I'm going to learn by myself. She'll die. She'll die in the woods, and the woman from the woods will die in the city, especially if they can't get back to their natural environment. You know what I'm saying? If the woman from the woods can't get back to the city, can't get out of the city and back to the woods, she'll die. If the woman from the city goes into the woods and can't get back to the city, she'll die. So the adaptation and the appreciation of environments, which is, if you read The Art of War, which from Coach Khayr is what relationships is we are coming at this thing from the aspect of warfare. But the enemy is unhappiness. The enemy is not my partner. The enemy is unhappiness and disagreeable energy. My ally is happiness and agreeable situations. Those are the people I want to work with. And in that point, I do support Roe fully and believe and I'm the same way. Like, I'm not wasting any time in the conflict. Like, if somebody wants to challenge me, I have saw so many opportunities that I lost because the window of opportunity does not stay open, ladies. Let me say that again. The window of opportunity does not stay open. Like, this show at the maximum can last 3 hours. Every breath that someone says is valuable. And I don't agree in the arguing side of it to make a point. Rose said she didn't want to participate. She left. Queen said what she said on the exit. That was that. I'm still here for you. I'm here for you, Keisha, and for 661 and 668 and 678. Janelle wants to get back in. That's where I'm at. Okay, so I feel.
Yeah, and I greatly appreciate that. But just to clarify, not that I said that I have to learn it on my own, but I could want my friend to learn what Rose says or what Queen has to say, but if he doesn't want it for himself, then it's pointless. So for me, when I say I have to learn it on my own, I have to want to either embrace my femininity or embrace my wild side. It's in me both ways, but I choose to learn more about what Rose has to teach and what she's coming from, the tried and true method of her studies. I've done the wild woman side, and to be honest, it doesn't always work out well for me. So why keep doing the same thing? So in essence, if a person really wants to bring about change for him or herself, then they will do that. I can't push it on them. No one can push it on them. So that's what I really meant. And, you know, the conversation is deep. It's very informative, and I appreciate the Coach Khayr show. This is my first time actually hearing about it through my good friend.
Yay!
So, my friend Tremaine, he says hello.
Man, what up, baby boy? Look,
he said, what up?
Here's my other thing, too. If anybody's looking at me on YouTube, I'm holding up a sign that says, write this down. This is for my students who are watching. Only work with the willing. Have a lifeguard philosophy. When the lifeguard goes out there to save a drowning person, if they don't want to listen, he lets them drown. He don't put himself in danger because they don't want to listen to him. He's up on the chair because he passed certain tests. He's not just a random person who just walked up there and put some red trunks on and sat on the seat. He had to go through training for that. And when you're going through training, not you, but if there's another woman and then your friend or your mate, if you're a man and you want to buy the book and your woman is like, I don't need that, I know what I'm doing, she's not willing. I ain't telling you to run, but hey, I did tell you, if they're not willing, don't try to force it, because you can get your own head bust. And you will be wasting your time. And time is something that you can't get back. You can't get time back from at no aspect, no avenue. None of us have a time machine. And if you do, please come let me get a ride, because I know where we can go and make some bread by going in the past. I know exactly where we can go and get some of this money. But Keisha, I do invite you and your partner to join me this this month with the Moon Magic, if you would like to experience, you know, holding a goal in your mind for 28 days. Like when you go to CoachKair.com, when this video goes off, I want you to listen to the audio that's right under that YouTube picture. There's an audio right up underneath that. It's 11 minutes long. I want you to listen to that. And then if that's something that you think that interests you, don't forget the coupon code. I'm giving out $25 tonight. You don't go to many people's shows and they like, here go $25. The word is happy. If you think that that's something that you want to do, after you listen to that audio, then click on the Moon Magic and go over there and check the video out. I want you to get $25 off. Come work with Coach. If you got any questions, anybody got any questions, y'all got my number, 336-587-1215. 336-587-1215. Send me a text first. Let me know that you heard me on YouTube or on the show so I can hit you back, because sometimes I'll be on the phone, all right? Or you can call, leave a message, because I got a real nice, soothing voicemail. Some people call me and say, why'd you answer the phone? I was calling to get the voicemail. So, you know, that's right there. So thank you, Keisha. Appreciate that, man. I'm going to holler at y'all, all right?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is a dream come true. It's awesome, baby!
Jajil, caller from the 661-748. Your microphone is wide open. Can I get your name and where you're calling from, please?
Hi, Kaya. This is Leslie calling from Toronto, Canada.
Ooh, yes, I can.
This is a dream come true.
Oh, my goodness. I should have had you on at the beginning of the show. I think it's really getting ready to get interesting. If any of y'all haven't raised y'all hands yet, y'all might want to raise it after Leslie get finished talking. Don't nobody hang up right now. I want to hear this right here. Leslie, how you doing? And
I'm so good.
Did you catch the majority of the show?
Yes, I did. I you know what? First, I want to congratulate you on setting up your YouTube live stream. I think that's amazing. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're
Thank
welcome.
you for doing that work.
Yeah.
I really liked when Ro came on, because even though she didn't answer all of the questions, what I really liked is that she demonstrated how not to get caught up in combative energy or drama. And I think that was very helpful. I mean, for me especially, because I love to fight and combat, and you've seen me do that with you. But she really showed how to maintain poise and how to conserve her energy and not allow herself to let her adrenaline rise unnecessarily. So, I mean, just the way that she handled herself, I thought was very feminine. And I was so impressed that I'm definitely going to purchase her book, because I really want to learn from her. The only disappointment I had is when Kween, I think it was, who asked her if we have to be feminine all the time, and if that's even possible. And she said that based on the tone, she would not answer. So I would have liked to hear her answer to that question, because I myself don't know if any woman can be feminine all the time. I studied with Juju Mama, and they teach that, we all have masculine and feminine. So hopefully when Ro is on your show next time, she can talk about you know, whether or not we should be feminine all the time, and if so, how to do that. So anyway, I was really impressed with her. I want to learn more. I want to read her book. And I just want to thank you, Khayr. I think that, you know, you have really great guests on your show. I love everything that you're doing. And I'm very, very, very proud of you. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget, don't get the book from Amazon right now because it's $39. Yeah, I was like, $39.
Manleads.com. I'm going to go to manleads.com.
Right. I'm just, you know, I'm very happy that the audience is giving me feedback from what they took from the call. And you can come on Wednesday night on the Man Lead show at 11 and find out the answer to that question. So I have a show with Ro on Wednesday. So I got a what's that, a poly broadcast relationship going on, not polyamorous or polygamous, but I got one female co-host on Monday and one female co-host on Wednesday, and I respect and love both of them. You know, I'm like, and they both under my protection. You better not bother neither one of them. Like, you know, like they do that. Like the energy for chi, CHI, is called. The Chinese say 2 women under 1 roof. You can't always have the same, you know what I'm saying, 2 women. Sometimes their energies won't mesh together in the same place. You know what I'm saying? So I, as wanting to see everybody happy, as many people happy as I can affect, then I know not to schedule that again. You see what I'm saying? Because I do dictate the scheduling. So, you know, I can just be like, there we go. So I definitely appreciate it. And I want to congratulate you on all those big things that you're doing, you know, with your brand and your show, helping out Mr. Make It Happen over there, what they got going on. I mean, what y'all got going on. Like, I really love what y'all doing with the Real Sex Talk live show. And, you know, you've come a long way as well to realize that you can win with yin, but don't have to be submissive or a doormat. You know, and I really think that you're going to, I think you're really going to love the book. You're going to really, you're going to, and see me, this is the part I didn't get to. I wanted to get to this part in the piece, and I'm going to just skip to this real quick. Chapter 7, the last chapter, the book is called Man Leads, Women Follow, Everyone Wins. And so at the end, there are these testimonials of the men. And this is not Ro talking. This is the men and the women talking. So one of them says, this is John, 58 years old, United States, happily married for 23 years, 4 children. We have built wealth. My wife has stayed home to support our family all of these years, and I'm pretty sure that we would not have reached financial success without her support, encouragement, patience, and help rearing our 4 children. She has always been dedicated to offering me her love. And I always feel like the richest man alive, and I'm not only referring to finances. Jeremy from Canada, happily married for 37 years, 5 children, says long-term physical health is a huge benefit to us. As far as I can see, the happiest married men are the healthiest, including me. I think I have heard people say that happiness is health or something like that, but I think there's definitely more to that. Lack of stress or power struggles at home are great gifts. Who is this? Wang Yi of Taiwan, 56 years old, married for 19 years, 3 children. Closeness is easy. When the husband is the leader of the family, every person can relax to be in their natural setting. Men love to work hard to take care of their families, and women do also, but in different ways. We are comfortable in our family, and that makes us easy to be very close. My wife is my best friend. She knows me and cares about me the most. And lastly, well, they go on, but I'm going to read one more. Jeffrey, 79 years, from Great Britain, second married for 24 years, 5 children. We are very proud. I am very proud of the success of my family. I was married once before, and my ex-wife thought that there should be 2 men. That did not work for me. When I learned that I needed to be more feminine, that I needed a more feminine thinking woman, I was able to find her. Everything in my family now has harmony and balance. We are an example to others who cannot figure marriage out, but it is really so simple now, and this success does bring us pride. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on and on with the testimonials of men from around the world. So that's why, to me, the third part of the book was like the clincher. Like, yeah. It's not about me thumping my chest because I'm a man, because I like man leads. I like lineage. I think like the Rothschilds. So if a Rothschild female is in that family and she doesn't agree with her husband, but she looks at the success of her bloodline, I'm not going to risk the success of my bloodline over some disagreeable energy. I'll just say it like that. You know what I'm saying? There are going to be disagreements. Of course. This is, we're humans. But it's how we respond to them and how we move forward. It ain't what happens, it's how we respond to it. So that's my feeling on that. I definitely I definitely appreciate you calling in tonight, and please join us if you can Wednesday, and if you can't, guess what? It'll be on YouTube again, baby.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it.
All right.
Thank you, Khayr.
Thank you so much. See you later. Talk to you soon.
And the hits just keep on coming.
Janelle's back in the house. 678-744. Your mic is wide open. Thank you for joining us again tonight. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Your mic
Hi, okay. Yeah, I just, I had another comment regarding to the other, I can't remember her name, the other young lady that just called in saying that, it's for women to figure out for themselves how to define femininity. And I know you're saying that we shouldn't do that, that there's information out there. There's always been somebody to show women the way. But what I think is, and I just went in, despite how this conversation ended, I just went online and purchased the book. I did get it through Amazon, but I got a used one for like $15. So hopefully that's not too far.
Yay!
It's awesome, baby!
Because I do want to learn more, but I also think that I'm sure there's a lot of information in there and a lot of research that she's done, so I'm excited to dig in it and apply that. But I think it is important for women to kind of pick what will work for them, because every woman is different, and it is difficult to define femininity. And I wish that we kind of would have got close to that today, but it does take a lot to define it. So, but what's feminine, what works for me is not necessarily what works for Ro or for Kween, because I'm my own woman and I have my own ways of being. And you can't, it's like, we ladies get on YouTube and watch, videos on how to apply makeup or different hairstyles, and I can't use everybody's makeup tips because my skin is different and my features are different. So I have to take what I see there and tweak it to what is going to complement me. And I think the same goes for defining femininity for yourself. Yes, there is information out there. We shouldn't keep doing, like the young lady said, it's kind of crazy to keep doing what does not work for you over and over again. I think we can all agree on that. So I'm not saying, don't take the information, don't try to figure it out yourself by making the same mistakes and doing the same things. That would be crazy. But don't take one book, per se this book, and apply everything to your life as the gospel. And the same as don't take another book or another video or another blog talk and apply all of that to the gospel. Get as much information as you can and take from that what does fit well with your femininity. You know what I'm saying?
Honey child, let me tell you something.
This is a dream come true.
It's awesome, baby!
Listen, what you just described is martial arts. May I explain?
Please explain.
as a martial artist, all of us may have the heart of a tiger, and we don't mind mixing it up and being combative. However, we're all different sizes. Like me, I don't like getting on the ground. Like my brother is 3 inches taller than me. He has a lot less body fat. He lifts a lot of weights, and he believes in ground and pound. And I wouldn't advise anyone to fight my little brother. I'm 8 years older than him. He trains like Secret Service officers and FBI agents and state troopers. He is a monster, but he has a totally different style than I do. Like, and he will hurt somebody. But me, because I don't want to get on the ground and get my clothes dirty, I have a totally different style. My brother he may like to fight you for 6 minutes. I'm going to finish you in less than 10 seconds by hitting certain pressure points and making you internally bleed or making your heart stop immediately. I'm not going to make you tap out. And it's all relative to what we want. Like my brother didn't have just one teacher. There's no martial artist worth his salt that's only had one teacher or just went one. And if you only had one teacher, that one teacher had many styles. When I started studying with my teacher, about a year later, someone asked me what I studied. I said Tai Chi. They said, oh. I said, and Bagua. They said, huh? I said, and Xinyi. They said, what? I said, and Shaolin. They said, wait a minute, how long have you been studying? I was like, 1 year. They was like, each of those arts takes 20 years to learn. I say, right. I said, that's why I'm studying with a master, because he's giving me a plethora of options. This show is about how to pick a master. See, there's a method to my madness. Come in and get the master that's right for you, but learn different methodologies. My teacher, Senyata, was much like Ro. He wouldn't even teach you if you didn't have a 4th degree black belt. Now, does that mean he's not cool because he won't let a person just come in there and challenge him? He always like to sit down with his legs crossed. And some people may look at him and say, well, I haven't seen you fight, so I'm going to come in and challenge you to see if you can beat me, to see if you can be my teacher. That's one way of doing it. But if that teacher's an assassin, it is the last lesson you're going to learn, because he doesn't know how to just subdue you, and he depicts it as very disrespectful, that you're not respecting my rank, and rank denotes what you have learned. So when I see Ro who has the research, I look at that as rank. I also look at Kween as having rank for some of her spiritual experiences that she's had on the dark side that Ro may not have had, which is fine. And but there's still two different styles. Karate and Tai Chi are not the same. You see what I'm saying? Even though mathematically Tai Chi beats karate, if you don't practice good and the guy practicing karate practices harder, then he's gonna beat you. Okay? So you just described martial arts in learning and having different styles. I can't always be able to fight with my feet. What if I fight somebody who kicks a lot? What am I gonna do? Say I can't fight you? What if I fight a boxer? What am I gonna do? And there's that many men around that you're gonna run into. As a woman, you need as many resources. So that's why I give you big ups for getting the book and saying, yo, what are some of the tools that Ro has? I say this all the time, and I even tell Ro, I don't agree with everything in the book, but I believe every woman should have it. Every man should have it and pull out of it the tools that you need. There's another book I have that I think every woman should have, but they look at it and go off half-cocked about some of the contents of the book. I ain't even giving the title out because that's one of my favorites. But like, there's an exercise in the book about how you can cut your menstrual cycle down to 1.5 days, and you can keep your breast perky up into your 70s and avoid breast cancer. And there's exercises so you can strengthen your uterus and the walls of the vagina and strengthen the ovaries. But because the book talks about the healthiness of oral sex, some people say, oh, that book is nasty. See, some people, no matter what, are hardwired to be contrary, male and female. And I particularly, no matter what the particular lesson I'm teaching, if I feel that a person's energy or tone is identifying with contrary, I don't feel that that person is willing to like accept anything that I'm going to say. And I feel honestly that was the way that Ro took it when she left the show, when she said, yo, I'm not going to explain femininity because I went to at length to put it in the book. And that's not the question that I'm addressing right now. So when she was like, the tone was, even if I tell you what femininity is, your reply is going to be, yeah, but says who? Says who? But why did you ask me to explain if you're still going to be combative after I finish giving you an explanation? That's a waste of time. Like if you're my wife or my girlfriend and I say, go get prettied up, go buy some nice lingerie, some new shoes, get your hair done, and don't go to work, take off tomorrow because we're going out tonight on an exquisite date, and then I don't show up. Didn't all that time that you just did, if you sat there and waited for me all night, didn't that turn into a waste? So in my mind, I wasted getting my hair. I mean, yeah, I'm going to get my hair done, but I got it done for a special occasion. You asked me to do something on a special occasion, and then you didn't show. You know, yeah, you're supposed to get your hair done, and you should treat yourself right and all these other things like that. But if it's a special occasion and it's something that we agreed upon or something that, you know, is set up, then that's when we talk about what's wasteful or, you know, cooking too much food and things like that. That's how Khayr feels on it. And that's not me trying to...
Can I...
Absolutely.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Okay. So I just want to kind of share just an example from my own life that I feel kind of applies to, in my opinion, how this conversation went down today. And it's just my opinion. So I am in a relationship, and I'm just going to say that I am not the best cook. Like, my heart is in the right place. I try. I'm learning. I've invested in many a cookbook. I'm constantly on YouTube. I'm trying. And my boyfriend is honest with me. You know, he'll give me a grade. He'll be like, "Babe, that was good. Good job. No, that one wasn't the business. Nope. Try again." He's honest with me. So my last couple of dishes have been failed. So now when I invite him over and say, okay, I cooked dinner, the last couple of times he's asked me, well, what are you cooking? So because I'm a little bit sensitive to the fact that he doesn't always like my cooking, and because we kind of had a back and forth about it one time, when he asked me, what are you cooking this last time, I got upset. And my attitude was, don't ask me what I'm cooking. Just know that I cooked you something, and you can either come here and eat it if you cannot. I've been working all day. I'm trying to do something nice. I interpreted him asking me as already a prejudgment on my dish. Okay. That's how I took that. Okay. I didn't think he just asked me to ask. He's just curious. I took it as he's getting ready to already talk bad about my meal or reject it. So I got defensive. And to me, and we don't have to rehash the whole conversation again. I know your callers really want to just move on and, you know, talk about other things. But I do want to say, from my opinion, and I did come from a neutral position. I wasn't on the last call. So my take on this conversation was just as it was occurring. So to me, it came across to me that maybe however that conversation went prior, and I wasn't there. I didn't hear it. I felt like Ro came with the senses that maybe she felt like Queen's question was already coming from whatever happened on the previous conversation, whereas me, this being the first time I'm hearing this conversation, I just took her question as a question. And in actuality, I had a couple of those same questions. In terms of Queen asking, can you define femininity, I didn't take that as combative because I was going to ask that. I haven't read the book. So if I'm a new caller and I would have asked that, and she would have said, oh, it's in the book, you shouldn't be asking me that, I've already put the research in, I would have been put off. And I'd have been like, you know what, I'm not going to buy your book. I'm here just trying to learn and have a conversation. And I think that what needed to be, I think the reason why she was saying, or let me take Queen out of it, the reason why I was wondering, can we get to some kind of general definition of femininity, was because I was hearing maybe we're understanding femininity differently. And that's why we're kind of saying the same thing but disagreeing. And so when the other young lady calls in about her abusive relationship, and she's saying, you know, I'm feminine and I'm too feminine and that hasn't worked for me, that's why I thought it was important to kind of define femininity, because the way I interpret it, and I think some of the other ladies on the call interpreted that when she was saying I'm too feminine, that wasn't actually necessarily our definition of femininity, that was something else. So when we're using the word femininity, if we're not all at some kind of general understanding of what we're talking about, there are going to be disagreements. So that's why I was going to ask that, and I assume that's where Queen was coming from with that.
Hey, like I said, I'm fine with that. And from a scientific standpoint, I bet you a dime to a dollar that if I put their charts together, it's some uncompatible energy in there no matter what. So, you know, so.
But that doesn't mean we shouldn't be able to have a conversation. I hate that it went down the way it did. We should be able to express our ideas both sides.
Well, you got.
We should be able to say,
everybody
should be able to say what they want to say and ask questions as well.
Don't tell me, tell Queen. You got Queen. You got Queen's phone number. You call and tell her that. I already, you know what I'm saying, I already know. She done already text me what her thoughts are. So, you know, maybe you can, you know, express it over there. I don't have a problem with it. And we're still going to have another show next Monday night, moving on. The Cosmic Love Trip ain't pulling over. We still have things to do. So, you know, this is all in the relationship growing. I'm sure I'll be hearing from Queen either later tonight or sometime tomorrow, you know what I'm saying, to have a discussion about this. So it is all good. I ain't even worried at the slightest. And you just wait until you get the book. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Like, it's fire. And get your magic marker out too. Okay, I gotta go because I got one more caller. All right.
All right, peace out.
All right, thank you. Peace. Okay, so my text, of course, everybody's sending me a text. And a question I just got on my text was, do you also, let me read it, do you also teach or coach men on how to become better men or evolve into their own greatness selves or greatness? Do you also, talking about me, do you also teach or coach men on how to become better men or evolve into their greater selves or evolve into their greatest greatness? And my response was, of course. So that's what the moon magic is, not just for ladies, it's for anybody. If you're 15 years old, you got an email account, you got a PayPal account, you got some money, or you got access to some money, and you want to take this course and you want to better yourself and you want to learn a real system that there's no debate over. The moon every 28 days moves in a circle. That's not relative. It moves in a cycle. If you catch every 8 phase and do what you're supposed to do, you're going to manifest. That's for everybody. Male, female, black, white, Chinese. We're all affected by the astrological bodies. That's my heart and passion. Are we clear on that? Get that through your head, okay? I like relationships, but sometimes I got to talk to people in where they can understand. But when I talk to people in astrological terms about their relationship chart, it becomes real easy because it's just scientific. Some people you match up well with, some people you don't. And if you want a reading about your cosmic connections, you can't get Friday morning because I'm booked. No, is that Friday morning? Yeah, Friday morning's closed, but just hit me up and find out for sure, is this person, male or female, somebody that you can relate to? What's the long range look like? What's the short range look like? Because energies change. You may be cool for a year and a half, 2 years, and then all of a sudden it start getting shaky. Why? Why? Because you ain't get the true foundation of who you're linking with each and every night. Okay? So that is important. Woo! You don't want to be sleeping with somebody who got bipolar tendencies in their astrological chart, or somebody who has impulsive gambling tendencies in their astrological chart. It's going to come out. And they may have been like, oh, I forgot to tell you. They might not know themselves. Or they may say, I'm trying to change. But you don't know where the root is at, okay? So that's Coach K Astrology. If you want to check that out, fill it out. I do cosmic connections for couples. I do individual relationships. This month, I have a special, $99. Anybody wants a reading for the rest of July, you can pay for it now and get it in August or get it in September. But I got a special for $99. They normally $150. If you want to get a reading, you can go ahead and book it now. Just fill out the form. I'll call you. We'll set up a time, and you can ask me any questions, and then we can move forward to see if you want to get a reading from Coach K, all right? Yeah, because that's a part of the relationships, too. Because some men are better leaders according to the astrological chart. Okay, now I got to get to my last caller. From the 336, drum roll, please. Caller from the 602, 336-602, your mic is wide open. Thank you for holding on all the way to the end. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hiya, this is Twyla.
Oh, hey. Look, y'all see how my voice just switched all up as soon as I was talking all manly and whatnot. Then I heard Twyla on the phone. I was like, hey, girl. Hey, but I ain't feminine.
This is the problem. My phone is, I've been on this call so long that my phone is beeping. It's like, please hang up and charge me. So this is all I want to say. Yes. That's all I'm going to say. This tonight has been one of them moments. All I have to say is yes. When you pulled out the book, and I went and got my book. When you was reading chapter 7, I was reading in chapter 7. When you was reading about my man who been married 2 times, that's the part that hit me in the book. When it was people in there who had been married twice. I'm like, no, so this wasn't been married 1 time. You know how that whole fairy tale relationship, we got married and we got married, all this stuff, we say married. No, she researched people who had been married for, 1 time, twice, and what they learned. So it's about the research. That's all I want to say. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say. Yes.
I know this is one of my friends right here. She's not on my side either, but she got my number. So you charge your phone up. Yeah. You charge my phone up because I want to hear your after party version of what you heard tonight. So I should be expecting.
Oh, yeah. Well, call me back.
Well, text me the number right
quick. Because I'm charging it. I have 2.
Just text me whatever number you want me to call you back on because you be switching up so.
This number right here.
Oh, now she want me to work and write it down. Yes, honey. Yes, my love. I will do exactly as you request. Yes, my love.
But no, I will text you as well.
No, I got it. I don't know. I got it now.
Okay.
I got it.
Okay. Well, good. Give me a few minutes. You finish handling your business, and you call me back.
All right. I got that covered. Thank you, Queen. I appreciate you.
Good night.
All right. Peace.
For now.
It's awesome, baby.
Woo-wee. Okay, now, there's a couple more of y'all on the line. Y'all don't have y'all's hand raised, but I see y'all. We just want to acknowledge you. Caller from the 203-770-832-404-870. What's up? Thank you for tuning in. You listen to the whole show. 203, whoever you are, I should call you to find out, like, just who this is, because who sits on here the whole show and then don't say nothing? There must be somebody from California that 230. I'm writing your phone number down. I might text you. You know what I mean? 770-832-404. I ain't gonna hit y'all. Whoa, 870. You've been on the phone all night. Good gracious. Okay, I see you. I appreciate you. I see them numbers on there, all them 8s. Thank you for dialing in. I'm gonna text you too and see who that is. I'm just nosy. Sometimes I just want to know who it is that just showed me mad love tonight. Thank you for this coming in and making the show successful. Like, some people are like, oh, he had the drama on his show and he did. No, this is just life. This is life. I know how to deal with it. You see? I ain't say woo-sa, I say woo-chi. It ain't woo-sa, it's woo-chi. It's the void. Everything changes. Everything is perfect. Sunyata taught us there's no such thing as bullshit. Everything that happens in your life happened to get you exactly where you are today. I'm Coach Khayr. You are who you are, and I love you. Thank you for tuning in. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. I got another show tomorrow at 8 o'clock on symptometry. I'm going to be talking about how to cure yeast infections. You ain't know I could switch it up on y'all. That's right. Tomorrow I'm talking about how we cure yeast infections. That's 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 5 o'clock Pacific. And can a man get a yeast infection? We're going to talk about it. Where does it come from? Why does it happen? And how do we cure it? And what are the foods that we eating that makes our cells break down to I'm giving away the show for tomorrow. Don't want to do that. So, got to give all of y'all another big round of applause. I'm very happy that, yeah, and if you haven't had a yeast infection, you know somebody that had one sometime, tell them listen to the show. Come back to CoachKhayr.com tomorrow. That window is going to be sitting right there where they can watch the show. Bam! You get me? It's going to be sitting right there where they can watch the show. You can call in on Blog Talk Radio as well, 347-205-9089. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Please, you got one more day to sign up for Moon Magic 28. One more day. Jupiter just went into Leo. Big things are popping. Little things are stopping. If you don't know what that means, please don't think I'm trying to just put a hook out there. I'm trying to tell you it's something in the cosmos going on that if you pick up a new system, just write this down. Success is not a secret, it's a system. Success is not a secret, it's a system. So I'm teaching people systems in Moon Magic. It's a versatile system that you can use for whatever you want. Just got off the phone with somebody today who's unemployed and still getting their PhD, and they're going to use Moon Magic to take care of finishing their PhD and getting a job. I got some women working on their femininity in their relationships as their personal goal, and then they got a huge $1 million potential deal going on with their business. And we're going to get that. I'm going to make sure. I'm working more with people one-on-one this month than I ever have in my Moon Magic program. If we're not working together, even in the smallest capacity, that means you're not supporting Coach Khayr and I can't support you. It's reciprocity, all right? But it must be a balance of all things in the universe. And I'm not going to be one that contributes to an imbalance in the universe, all right? So if you like me supporting you, please support me. It's $75 for the month. It's $50 with the coupon code HAPPY. Now, you ain't going to get my full package for my monthly coaching, which is a lot more expensive than $75 and $50, but you're going to get more than you've ever gotten before, okay? So please go to the site, moonmagic28.info, and register today. Or you can go to healingrelationships.info, because I'm going to make a whole page just on that. All right? So please, I'm going to see you on the inside. Thank you so much. If you like this show, you're going to love the show Wednesday night at 11. That's manleadsradio.info. Manleadsradio.info. We're going to holler. I love y'all. What song am I going to take this thing out with? Do I got some Jay-Z on here? I'm feeling kind of some Cosmo Physics. What do I want to do? You know what I'm going to take it out with. I love y'all. Peace. Let's get happy. Bam. It's just going on slow.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sometimes she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon at the door of space.
You're about to see the ending of Blog Talk. Watch out, just cut me off. Watch this now. The song will not finish.
like a room without a roof. Cause I'm happy all alone if you feel like that.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
You see what I'm saying? You've been behind the scenes tonight with Coach Khayr, Coach K Radio. I appreciate you. I bow to you. I respect you. Namaste, namaskar. Peace, love. 5 on the right, 2 on the left. If you know what that's about, hey, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll be here tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. But I might do some broadcasting in the middle of the day. Yeah. I'm just getting ready to go crazy. If I got something to say, I'm just going to put it on here and get it out. Not all that editing stuff. I got things I want to get off my chest, and they're coming. Any suggestions you got about this being a better show, please tell me. Any topics that you want, that you think somebody else is not covering, that you want to hear Coach go do the research on and come bring these type of conversations, inbox me on Facebook, send me an email, coachkhayr@gmail.com, or go to coachkhayr.com, scroll down and leave a note for Coach, and I'm going to holler at you. I appreciate you. I love you. Peace.